Welcome to Smooth Thursday. Get relaxed, get ready, and open up your brains, because we're watching some chuds later on. Smooth, that's why we listen to literally all music here on YugopnikTwitch, including jazz from time to time. Indeed. Thank you, Romka. We missed you yesterday. Thank you, Nurig, for 8 months. Who must go? I guess ASSAD went. Thank you, Shantera Critter, the big critter of the clit, for 4 months. Starting in a little bit. Relax, take it easy. Welcome to all the early heads in chat. It is Chill Chat Thursday. We will be beginning in a couple of minutes. Relax, light up, pour your favorite drink, and I will be right with you. I always imagined this was Luigi's playlist as he was going to work. Thank you, Lucky Ducky Butt, for starting the hype train before the show has even begun. The chew is indeed chew on this fine Thursday. hello, everybody. It is a pleasure to be back with you. It might be a Thursday, but with your boy Hugo, it always feels like a Friday. Today is a chill day. It is a chud day. It is when we watch. It is when we cringe. It is when we dissect. It is when we point and laugh and feel extremely smart. Because there are some people out there that are actually, unironically, right-wing. Thank you, Lucky Ducky, and thank you, Emmy Fury, for starting up this beautiful, beautiful hype train in the beginning of our show. Today, we are continuing our eternal jihad against advertising, which means for every 10 gifted subs, your boy gives another 5. Thank you very much, Jaws, Yugo and chat. Hope you're doing well. Our Twitch baby shall be called Fidel. Beautiful, beautiful, but I'm not paying at all. Thank you, Horse Beef, for the 5 extra gifts. The train is going strong today. Thank you, Gabriel, for the bits. The people want to know who made your intro animation. A brilliant person who also made a lot of shit for Blowback, the podcast, but also created my unironic favorite comic book slash illustrated book, etc. What depends on graphic novel, depends on how you want to call it. Justice Warriors, that's out now. It is absolutely worth your money. It is class conscious as fuck. It is really good. His name is Ben Clarkson. He made it for me when he found the time. And thank you, Romka, very much for the 100 bits. Sovietsky rocker boy from the 90s fit. Right? Thank you. I'm fucking with the fit today. I'm really fucking with the fit.
A new child soldier.
We got the white doves. We got the faded shirt that kind of like, I don't have light that is good enough to, pop it off. I got the little hat because, not every day can be a good hair day. I hope you understand me. And shit, where's the ice? Chose no ice, chose to be a little bit more comfortable. This is like a very, very fine piece of clothing. I got it on discount for fucking Black Friday or whatever the fuck. But it's a very, very fine piece of clothing. And I think the whole fit kind of comes together relatively well. I needed to add something relatively formal because last time, like this shirt, this winter shirt, because last time I kind of fucked up because I was like just wearing black on black with this. And I looked like, I'm about to get deployed on the Ukrainian front, which is, not something I want to even by accident look like I'm making fun of because, people are dying. Very nice, very good. Hot as fuck. No, you are hot as fuck. Yes, today is Chill Thursday. Thank you for the hype train. We're almost at level 4. It is good to see all the OGs in chat, from Jaws, Kubashi, of course, Girl Cock, my favorite type of cock, Gay Lenin, Toasty Android, as always, Kakfira, Abortion Now, Miu VDV. Why does Abortion Now not have a sub? Somebody give Abortion Now a sub. Do you disagree with Abortion Now? You don't since you're in the chat right now, so give Abortion Now a sub. Your Lord Commander of the Great Jihad orders it. Thank you very much, Lucky Ducky Butt, for another gift sub and for moving us into a level 3 hype train. So, what are we going to do today? Well, Chud Watch. It is very self-explanatory. When certain events that hit the public light with such intensity, pop off, the way the random spontaneous heart attack of a CEO in the middle of a New York street did. I don't know why. It's not like if it was an assassination or something. They currently have some guy arrested for assassinating him. What murder? I haven't seen absolutely anything. So yeah, everybody's making a big deal out of a CEO just spontaneously having a heart attack in the middle of Manhattan. But, since it's in the limelight, now the left and the right is obviously going to try and hijack the conversation as much as they can and make it about themselves and about their particular movement. Thankfully, this CEO heart attack that just spontaneously happened started bringing class consciousness into the souls of many 1,000 Americans quite spontaneously. So the right obviously has to do something about it. They have to spin the story. They have to redirect. But as we've seen, and as we are going to see today, even the staunchest of Chud watchers, aka those who consume the Daily Wire, seem to not be buying it. And the harder the right kind of mismanages the situation, because this is one of the stuff this is a type of event that they cannot really spin, because they have to call it out as being like 100% bad. Please do not do this. Why? Because they literally work for corporate overlords, and they themselves are multi-millionaires. Thank you very much. It's Juro for the gift sub to Abortion Now. I believe we are 7 gift subs in. In 3 gift subs, I will give another 5 gift subs. So let us look and try to dissect their particular rhetoric on this topic. Let us point at and laugh, obviously, at how their audience is absolutely not taking it, and maybe have a greater conversation about what symbols, which is how I'm going to refer to the CEO just randomly getting a heart attack in the middle of Manhattan, can be utilized for something more progressive, and something with actual bearing on domestic and international politics. I think there is no evidence whatsoever. Personally, I was at Wednesday Mass in St. Anthony's Church in Buffalo, New York, 300 miles away. And Luigi Mangione was there with me the entire morning, lighting candles and giving tithes to the church. He's a loving Catholic boy, and even made meatballs with my aunt's laughter. 100% true, can confirm. I agree. I was also there. I flew in this morning, the morning after that. I was in the church too. It is a very nice church. Thank you, Loveless Pleb, for 5 months. Thank you, Rubert, as well, for 4 months. Thanks for the streams, always, Hugo. Appreciate my favorite Balkan boy. Make the mornings great whenever you have the time. Thank you very much. It is my privilege and my pleasure to let's say, give you a very long and strong start to your day. And if anybody listens to this show, then they usually do have very long and strong starts of the day, if you know what I mean. It's true. After that, he saved my cat from being run over by a CEO in a truck. Greetings. I have a purpose to enter your stream. May I state it? Absolutely, artificial anime universe. You're definitely not an AI. The artificial anime universe definitely is not an AI. State it. So long as it's not DOS violating. That is why Toasty is my favorite Pokemon at this point. More cop than moderator. Truly, in their soul, they know what the grind is all about. I am not. Okay, so let's start talking about the Chuds and about this spontaneous thing that just happened in Manhattan. It was no way caused by a very handsome Italian man. So we have wanted posters of CEOs are appearing in New York. Let's start with that one because it's the freshest one. I don't think, I believe Ben Shapiro is in this kind of strange situation where, he is taken up so much power inside of the Daily Wire that they aren't telling him that people are reacting very negatively to these episodes and to this particular coverage. Thank you very much for the 14 subs and 300 bits and the level 4 train. That was beautiful. They're not telling him because look at the like to dislike ratio on just this one. This one is has only come out 18 hours ago. And we all know that these guys are absolute fiends that do everything for money and for clout, but they are also highly financed by large capital. So large capital has most definitely reached out to them and said, yo, you got to run the different type of, you got to run a very hard anti-shooting CEOs type of rhetoric, even though no shooting has ever happened. So my boy is really leaning in, okay? Really leaning in. First, he posted this 5 days ago, the evil revolutionary left cheers murder, and it became a international meme online where everybody was like, God, this guy is out of touch. And the fact that he's posting it is giving a lot of right-wing chuds unironic class consciousness because half of the fucking comment section is for For anyone watching, this is who Ben Shapiro always was. For anyone wondering, the video has 7.1k likes and 56k dislikes. Right winger here, you're wrong. Ben, this man denied 35% of claims. He was a son and a father, so were the thousands of people that were denied healthcare. Remember, guys, Ben has more in common with that CEO than he has with any of us. Not gonna lie, these comments are making me feel patriotic. We got conservatives and liberals hugging each other in a comment section before GTA 6. Okay, so he is by accident causing people to start to experience the beauty and the liberation, which is class consciousness, aka understanding that these fucking devils do not give a flying fucking shit. And he's getting ratioed in absolutely every single video that he's posting on this topic. And I feel like nobody's telling him. He's either not reading the comments or his investors are pushing so hard that he continues talking about it that he has to, pretty much. Why specifically Ben? Because, for example, the comments section... This crazy fucking nutter, right? This crazy fucking bitch, okay? Absolutely not a single video on this. Not a single video on this. Not a single video on this. Because she has some relative media literacy and she's like, I'm not shooting myself in the fucking foot. That's number one. And number two is... the Daily Wire, the corporation, not Ben Shapiro, the individual, are trying to still dissect just how smart it is to talk about this openly. So they probably haven't figured out a pitch for the young'uns, who she targets pretty much with her content, and how to talk about this particular thing, even though she's all over the Jay-Z thing, right? So, yeah, Ben Shapiro is up in his ivory tower. Nobody has the balls to tell him, or his corporate overlords are telling him, yo, this is what we're paying you for. Stop the spread of class consciousness. But the comrade Ben is accidentally doing so much good work. Anna's taking her place. Yeah. I can fix female Ben Shapiro. Yeah, you guys are too horny for Femme Ben, okay? You're too horny for Femme Ben. And this is anti-male discrimination. Why is nobody saying I can fix Ben Shapiro? Okay, why is nobody saying I can fix Ben Shapiro, but you're like I can fix her? The impact on men felt by the patriarchy in the left is to be truly dissected and truly criticized. Chat, you should feel very bad. I'm calling you out for the patriarchal swine that you are. I can fix Ben Shapiro, but only because I like twinks. Jesus Christ. Those caterpillar eyebrows are unfixable. No one can fix Ben, man. Ben Shapiro, a guy who has the same initials as bullshit. Come on, you go now. Okay. I guess you got me there. It is a piece of patriarchal sentiment that I can get behind. But now, wanted posters of CEOs are appearing all over New York. Already 4.4k dislikes. Guy who makes millions from sitting in front of a camera all day gives us working class a lecture about how healthcare can be compared to comedy and basketball. Hey, Ben, LeBron James profits off of dribbling a basketball, not by denying innocent people with essential healthcare. I'm guessing this man will make arguments that, hey, you support sports people getting a lot of money. Why wouldn't you support a CEO? Maybe because sports people do the dribbling of the basketball by themselves, and CEOs have thousands upon thousands of people that dribble the basketball for them, and then they charge them quite literally 90% of what they earned from dribbling said basketball, which is taken on steroids because when it comes to healthcare insurance companies, it's not something as easy as just producing a product or giving out a service like dribbling a basketball. They are like actively turning basketballs into balls of steel and throwing them at disabled people. That is the difference between LeBron James, my dude, and any CEO, and in this case, a CEO that represents health insurance companies. But speaking of some of the greatest evils in the world, which is health, privatized health insurance, there is one evil that is almost as bad, and that is called advertising. And it comes in the night, every 30 minutes here on stream, and it screams at you, buy this, buy that. Well, avoid it, and instead buy my product/service by subscribing for $6 a month or for free through Prime, and avoid the ad that's going to play in the next 20 seconds. Or gift to somebody less privileged than you, and for every 10 gift subs, I will gift another 5. We are 3 gift subs away from me giving another 5. Okay, prepare your brain rot defense mechanisms. We are going in. Tango, tango, bravo, we're going in.
Over in New York, signs have been appearing with pictures, wanted pictures of CEOs, with Brian Thompson's face crossed out because, of course, he has been. Here is some foot.
For conservatives were always, I don't know if you caught that's censored. Conservatives always be fucking free speech, by right to say anything, but will lose their mind if somebody says shit or fuck or cock or pussy. Because God doesn't like it. Yes, an entity with no beginning and no end that has created the entire world really cares about the words you use or whose genitals you touch. That is a very cohesive and very, very rational way of looking at God. Absolutely magnificent.
Footage of wanted posters of various members of the healthcare industry. Again, wanted posters with their faces on them, presumably to be murdered.
Yes, Ben, and it is absolutely hilarious.
Do you see this? Do you see this? Deny, defend, oppose at the bottom of it?
Again, these are insane. Insane. Okay, now, how widespread is this sentiment? Well, I mean, it's widespread enough that it has made its way over into the political segment of the body politic, the overtly political. You have the cultural commentators who are sort of tangentially interested in the issue to the extent that they don't know enough about it to say. And then you have people whose actual profession is to supposedly understand the issues, being gleeful about the murder. Joy Reid, again, the least joyful person ever to be named Joy, and that includes Joy Behar. She is gleeful that people are supporting the United Health CEO's alleged shooter.
Something a bit unexpected has happened following the murder. A reaction not of universal horror, that a 50-year-old father of 2 and husband was shot dead in public, but rather of, and I don't want to call it glee, but let's just say...
Don't you wish that Hitler had like a wife and a kid so that I can make the parallels? I would love to be able to make the parallels.
Not unhappiness, especially online, where the internet sleuths who often dedicate themselves to tracking down people accused of racist behavior in public places, criminals, including...
By the way, almost nobody is happy that this man is dead. People are just happy that somebody's doing something about it. And more importantly, people are unifying based on, let's call it a spontaneous expansion on a more rational way of looking at ethics for me, but not for thee. That's the whole thing. That's literally the whole thing. And that is the main way this can be utilized, in my very, very modest opinion. What am I talking about in particular? This event, this is kind of like the first stepping stone of what allows you to get some more advanced class consciousness. And it's understanding that laws, regulations, and even socially accepted definitions of what is right and what is wrong depend on who is powerful in a particular community and who is not. And people are realizing that if you take a gun and you shoot one person, that is obviously considered murder. It is bad, and that person should go to jail from the perspective of the law. But if you do it behind a corporate veil through a quite literal briefcase, it is not only legal, but it is celebrated as a successful business practice and is rewarded through currency, capital, wealth, influence, and power. So when people saw a guy kill another guy who killed so many indirectly, you have to be genuinely very fucking stupid. Like very, 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 very stupid not to see the hypocrisy behind that very thing. And there is nothing more beautiful than a hypocrisy that has not yet been addressed in a person's mind, such as this one, because they've been ideologized into not thinking about it, than this. So now they're questioning why ethics to an extent, and what is moral and what is not, and most importantly what is legal and what is not, applies to the more privileged in one way and then the less privileged in a very, 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 very different way, even when it's stuff as hardcore as taking a life, directly or indirectly. That is the first stepping stone towards class consciousness, and that is what, in my modest opinion, this event, this symbol, should be utilized for, to hammer it the fuck in. It doesn't matter if you like Luigi, his worldview, or whatever the fuck. You need to not look at persons, you need to look at this particular event and the type of conversations that are organically being born out of it. Then utilize those conversations that are being organically born out of it to introduce people to other perspectives that apply to other industries, and then at one point to what? To the world as a whole and to the system as a whole. Social murder or something, I don't know, maybe Mark's sugar daddy wrote something about this. I don't know. We don't mention Marx yet.
Wonderful. A new
I'm happy
child
because
soldier,
billionaires are afraid
subscriber.
to walk the streets. It's a small win, but I'll take it. It can be a much bigger win. Don't take the small win, but I understand your sentiment. Thank you, Lady Zafira. Greetings, fellow comrades. Soon it will be 6 months. Thank you for the 5 months. Thank you very much, Lady Zafira.
January 6th fugitive.
Well, at the moment, the snitch who called the cops on Luigi is getting abused online, which I think is entirely pointless and shite. Respectfully, who gives a fuck? Nobody. I don't give a shit. I do not give a shit. Gabriel, don't waste your time on whoever that person is. Fucking irrelevant. Do you care? Okay, you care because you're a good person. Please stop. Stop being a good person for 3 seconds. Genuinely stop being a good person for 3 seconds. It's none of your fucking business. It's not something you should dedicate the small amount of time you have in between work on. Okay, nobody gives a fuck that guy. Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck?
And more have been actively refusing to help. Donald Trump Jr., son of our incoming ruler, went on his ex-Twitter page and did the patented "Internet do your thing" post. And the reaction was mostly, yeah, no. Other popular conservatives like Ben Shapiro and anti-woman zealot Matt Walsh saw their mentions go up.
Anti-woman zealot, I love it.
In flames.
I'm gonna use that like the anti-woman zealot and the hot sister haver. That's her new fucking.
When they tried to attack quote-unquote evil liberals for celebrating the murder of a CEO, with some of their supporters replying that they had gotten it wrong. Indeed, instead of universal condemnation, what we have seen, and many of us have heard both on and offline, has been a barrage of stories of Americans' awful experiences with insurance companies.
Media people living in their ivory towers for the first time actually seeing like normal people react to a thing the way they would have always reacted to a thing, but they couldn't predict it, and that's why they're literally running around saying there is something deeply sick in American society. But they don't think there's something deeply sick in American society because of like the opinions people are sharing, but because like they couldn't predict it, they couldn't see it coming. They think it's sick because they don't hold the same opinion. They think it's sick because they don't get it, and they don't get it because they're up in their fucking ivory media towers, fucking summering in Nantucket with Obama or some shit.
Stories of claims denied of people who've gotten sicker or even died because insurance companies like United refused to pay claims.
But we are the loud minority according to them. That is the Lulu shit, bro. That is the Lulu shit. Thinking that a loud minority is like, woo-woo, bonk those CEOs, bonk, them CEOs. Is insanely delulu. Do you know how many songs have been made? Just songs, okay? Artsy people. They make songs on fucking TikTok and YouTube. The greatest sweethearts on planet Earth, okay? Fucking love artists, okay? These people, at this point, there's like 150 songs that have over 500K views where they're like, yeah, I like to walk my dog. And now I found a new hobby. I would also like to shoot a CEO while I walk my dog. Like people that have, like, up until yesterday considered stepping on a bug to be a fucking sin, you know?
Let's just be clear. There's a real hatred for these companies that is unfurling on social media right now and also in real life, too.
Do you have any songs that are like singing about because I watched a bunch on TikTok, but I didn't manage to save them. Send links my way. I wouldn't mind listening to a few.
Okay, and part of the reason for that hatred is because you have suggested no proper solutions. By the way, Obamacare was supposed to solve all this, remember? Lefties, come get your boy.
No, what the fuck? What the fuck? A policy that was obviously fucking half-assed, but at least attempted to limit the amount of influence that insurance companies can have is absolutely fucking ratchet. And to mention Obama as some sort of fucking torchbearer in the fight against privatized health insurance is insane. Like, his quotes on this shit are absolutely fucking wild. He's like, health insurance shouldn't exist because it gives jobs to many people, which I said, I think, in a few streams in the past. I was like, we must not dismantle the Gestapo, for it employs over 50,000 people. What are you going to do with these 50,000 people? The Gestapo must stay. And don't even get me started talking about the SS. The SS employs over 3 million patriotic Germans. What shall we ever do with so many unemployed? The SS must continue to operate. It is a cost-benefit analysis implies that the SS must continue its operation on West German territories. Yeah. Lovely. You guys are sending me links. There you go. This is what I'm talking about. If you got videos like this popping up, okay? If you got videos like this popping up, it just like randomly all over the internet, that means that it is very much not a loud fucking minority, okay? Very much not a loud fucking minority. There were some with like over 500,000 likes and shit. Yeah, this one, for example. 840,000 likes. And you tell me this is the loud minority, okay?
There's an office and a building and a person and a chair, and you paid for it all, though you may be unaware. You paid for the paper, you paid for the phone, you paid for everything they need to deny you what you're owed. There ain't no you in United Health, there ain't no me in the company, there ain't no us in the private trust. There's hardly humans in humanity. Now the procedure that you're needing ain't the cost-effective route, and only 2% of people end up winning a dispute. So if you get sick, pray to God for help, cause your doctor's gotta pray to United Health. Way back.
Like, this lovely person, like, genuinely probably would like walk like an additional 5 meters around because he would potentially scare a hedgehog. Okay? Now being like, yeah, fucking blow their fucking brains out and do a little fucking dancey dance around it.
Back in 77, Mr. Richard T. Burke started buying HMOs, putting federal grants to work, made 50 billion buckaroos. Last year, the Warren Buffett of health, the Jeff Bezos of fear. Now CEOs come and go in one.
840,000 likes. The reason I'm playing this to you is just it's not a loud minority.
20 ingredients you got, bake the cake you get. But if you get sick, cross your fingers for luck, cause old Richard T. Burke ain't giving a fuck. Commoditized health, monopolized fraud. Here's the doctors we own and the research we bought. They own the pharmacies and a lot of the meds. They should start buying graves to sell us when we're all dead. There ain't no you in United Health, there ain't no me in the company. There ain't no us in the private trust.
It's maximum volume.
There's hardly humans in humanity.
It's maximum volume. I don't know. It looks 16 and sounds 40. I'm the opposite. I look 40 and sound 40, but I am 16. TOS, please don't ban me. Okay.
Barack Obama, that guy was supposed to have fixed healthcare, you recall, and it got worse because of the subsidization and overregulation. Meanwhile, the White House...
No, it literally... did a little bit, but not enough. And that's what allowed corporations to spread and spread and spread. And in their greed, they were like, we will now create entire departments that make sure people get denied as often as possible, because instead of $3 trillion this year, we want to make $4.2 trillion. Indeed, indeed, indeed.
Refuses to answer if the Biden administration disagrees.
Oh, mamma mia, I killed many people, and then an Italian killed me. What the fuck? I did not expect this to happen.
With the alleged shooter's reported manifesto regarding quote-unquote profit over people, which again has been a talking point of the left for a very long time. The suggestion...
You see, this is I guess this is the pitch, okay? Now I'm being marketing / PR Hugo, which for those of you joining us for the first time is literally what my long and celebrated career used to be before I started doing this full time. So the pitch is it's just going to be classic division. So they're from what I'm hearing in this, the pitch, the rhetoric is basically the left is celebrating this. You are not left-wing. Remember, you hate the left wing because gays and blacks. So if the left likes this, you are not allowed to like this. The left likes it, and everything the left likes, you are not allowed to like. Because if you like this, you also like the gays and the blacks. Listen to me again, Chad from Minnesota. You are not allowed to like this because the left, as I define it, likes it. That's the pitch. And it's extremely weak. But to give them kind of leeway, as fucked up as it sounds, there's not a lot of directions they can go with this. Not a lot of directions. The classic, he's a husband and father and, respectable member of his community and shit, doesn't really fly because the main counter-argument to that is he's a mass murderer. So, yeah. It's Ben, you can do better. You can do better than, hey, the left likes this, so you're not allowed to like this.
That the profit margin is really the problem in the healthcare industry. As we went through with regard to the charts, there are a wide variety of healthcare systems. When it comes to spending per capita, the bottom line is that as income goes up, so does healthcare spending. It's just a reality.
No, it's a taboo to call Italian Americans white. I know it's a taboo. I apologize. But every morning I wake up and I thank our Lord Jesus H. Christ that the assassin was not black, because it would nullify like 70% of the class consciousness that some right-wingers and centrists are getting right now. It would be immediately like, there's no way he could have done something good or something I support, because melanin level is very high. Melanin levels very high equals cannot do anything good. I cannot support this. Like 70% of people will just like instinctively react to black guy kill white guy. Man, how brain rotten am I that I understand American white people's psyche so much and I'm not even fucking American? God, like fucking global cultural hegemony do be a bitch, bro.
Okay, but the White House, again, has been playing this ugly game. Democrats have been playing this ugly game as long as I'm alive. That the reason healthcare is bad in the United States, or worse than it should be in the United States, is because of those greedy healthcare executives. It is amazing, by the way, that this logic is never, ever applied to literally any other area of human life. Nobody ever says, the NBA could be even better if they paid LeBron James less. Nobody ever says,
Yugopnik, hell yeah, brothers, yeah. For those of you who do not know, I was in the States like 3-4 months ago. It was very nice. I fuck with America, but like if you just, I don't know, stop being an imperial powerhouse that's doing very fucked up shit and destabilizing pretty much the rest of the world and almost single-handedly upkeeping capitalist hegemony and, wasn't doing like internalized imperialism on your own minorities and shit. Extremely fun country, extremely fun, welcoming, chill fucking people. I really fuck with Americans. I've always said this. But the country, even though I love that meme, I have nothing against the U.S. government, but I hate the American people specifically. That's one of the best fucking tweets of all time.
Is that it's only with regard to healthcare and other areas that the left says. Nobody ever says, the NBA could be even better if they paid LeBron James less.
So nobody is Ben. You suck at your job. The argument here is companies like the one that he's representing are not supposed to exist. Nobody is saying pay the CEOs less. No, the request is much more radical, Ben. It is you should not have a job in which you dictate who gets to get a life-saving health care or not. Nobody's talking in that way about the NBA. But okay. Yesterday I interviewed Lolo Overruled, Lolo from TikTok. He also has a very nice Substack. Check it out. And it was a very, very fun conversation. So look out for it coming out on Patreon, I think, on Friday, and then next Friday for everyone else. And also merch is dropping tomorrow. The merch is going to be wild as shit. We got like very, very wild merch. It's going to fucking piss off a lot of people. I don't give a shit. It's very like hyper ironic, hyper larpy, hyper like literally balls and dick out. It's so fucking stupid.
Nobody ever says that. It's only with regard to healthcare and other areas that the left cares about that suddenly the profit margin becomes bad. Nobody ever suggests that Bill Burr should make less money in his comedy because obviously the profit margin
wearing my deprogram long sleeve right now. Yeah, baby.
In his comedy is what is driving it's making his comedy worse. You know, here is Karine Jean-Pierre refusing to condemn the idea that the United Healthcare CEO, the reason United Healthcare denies too many claims is because of their profit margin.
Also, like, we must all agree that Luigi completely fucking copped my look, dude. Luigi completely copped my look. I hope I'm gonna get, like, I don't know, a percentage of whatever GoFundMe money he gets, bruv. Like, cop my look so fucking hard. But I can live with it. I like inspiring great American heroes, which he is not. He is a disgusting, evil murderer, and we really condemn him really strong, really, really big. And also, Super Mario is an overrated video game. Truer lies have never been told. Same like, it's absolutely worth it. $6 versus not watching ads, like 100% worth it. You know what's even more worth it? Literally taking a bucket of oil and pouring it on top of my head. And for every 10 buckets of oil, aka 10 gift subs, I will donate another 5. So avoid the ad playing in the next 20 seconds. Spend that money. I promise it's worth it. Or no money through Prime. Holy shit, it cost nothing. And avoid the ad that is about to play. By the way, we are 3 gift subs away from... there you go, ZVAH. 3 gift subs away from me donating another 5, which is going to happen right the fuck now, baby. There you go. Very beautiful. Very nice. Very beautiful, very nice. Thank you so much, ZVIH. Everybody say thank you, ZVIH. Such a nice man, ZVIH. And then Hugo, oh my God, you're spending your own money so we don't have to watch ads. Yes, I'm that nice. I'm that fabulous. I am that fucking beautiful.
What would you say to Americans who might sympathize with Luigi Mangioni's purported manifesto indicating that insurance companies ultimately...
By the way, we are still not 100% sure that's his manifesto. That's kind of whack shit. Like, we're still not sure. Random people might have posted it. The video on YouTube, also YouTube corroborated that wasn't his YouTube channel. A lot of like weird shit is going on.
Wonderful, a new child.
Ultimately care more about their profit.
This manifesto seems fed post to me. Why? Because it starts with, I love the FBI. You guys are based as fuck.
Than the health of their customers.
So
is that premise like...
Feds being like, okay, at that line, when the people like rise under Luigi's banner to roam the streets of Manhattan and throw their corporate overlords out of the window, they will bypass the FBI building because their great marshal said the FBI is based and red-pilled.
Yeah.
Is that premise accurate in any way?
So let me just say at the top, offer up certainly our condolences to the victims and his loved ones. We are certainly tracking.
Yeah, it's really fucked up that Luigi is arrested and in prison. It's super fucked up. That's the victim we're talking about, right?
The latest regarding this deadly shooting.
So I'd be avoiding the question, obviously. By the way, it's not...
I don't know, black people in chat, if there's any. Like, the last 3 years have been absolutely wild for the State Department. Like, they used a black lady in the UN to keep, like, voting against the ceasefire in Palestine. They put this lady to cover pretty much every, like, unhinged, fucked up opinion that the United States State Department has. It's like, you could genuinely see that they're putting black bodies in spaces where those black people just, have to say the most unhinged fucking things because, I don't know, fucking Biden-brained. It's so strange. Black people, I'm sure there's some Serbs around. There's plenty of South Africans around, but I think it's too early for them right now.
Not just Karine Jean-Pierre and the White House.
She is Haitian too, being the talking head for Empire. That one, the one that blew up Haiti. It's wild.
This is also Elizabeth
But it's very noticeable. It's very fucking noticeable.
Warren. Elizabeth Warren is such a disappointment of a human being. Let's talk
Great argument, Ben.
about something that affects pretty much all of us. That would be taxes. The October 15th deadline, it's passed. Are you prepared for what could come next? Do you owe back taxes? Are your tax returns still unfiled? Did you miss the deadline to file for an extension? Well, now that October 15th is behind us, the IRS may be ramping up enforcement. Let me tell you now. So I knew Elizabeth Warren back when she was a torts professor at Harvard Law. She was there at the same time that I was. She was a teacher, obviously, and I was a student. And Elizabeth Warren was not a nut job at that point, but she clearly has had too much of the Bernie Sanders Kool-Aid. She said, quote, "This is a warning that if you push people hard enough, they lose faith in the ability of their government to make change. Violence is never the answer, but people can be pushed only so far. But
Listen to what he said. Violence is never the answer. People can only be pushed so far, but
Brachia, for example. Alrighty, folks. So the Daniel Penny verdict is in. He has been acquitted. Thank God. Thank God the jury did the right thing. I'll bring all the details in just 1 second. First, this is your reminder that DW+GiftMembership.com, right in Manhattan, in the so-called chokehold death of Jordan Neely. So you remember the video. This is where the drug-addled, mentally ill, homeless person is abusing people on the subway, threatening them physically. And Daniel Penny, who's a veteran, comes up behind him and puts him in a submission hold. Again, this is a warning that if you push people hard enough, they lose faith in the ability of their government to make change. Violence is never the answer, but... And Daniel Penny, who's a veteran, comes up behind him and puts him in a submission hold. Again, the goal of the submission hold is to make him submit.
you can't write this shit, brother. It's so fucking good. It's so fucking good. There's violence is never acceptable, except when you kill a fucking homeless guy. Because he was being very violent. But when you kill 80,000 fucking people directly or indirectly, then you're fucking little ghoul, bro. I'm breaking. I don't know if you're noticing. I'm breaking, chat. I'm breaking down. The lack of fucking rational thinking in this man is absolutely incredible. Let's look at that again. Let's look at that again.
Too much of Bernie Sanders Kool-Aid. She said, quote, "This is a warning that if you push people hard enough, they lose faith in the ability of their government to make change. Violence is never the answer, but people can be pushed only so far. But Manhattan, in the so-called chokehold death of Jordan Neely. So you remember the video. This is where the drug-addled, mentally...
So what, the CEO, if the CEO was on 5 grams of coke and was running around harassing people, it would be okay for our boy to fucking track him. Remember, if somebody wants to copy Luigi and wants to be approved of by Ben Shapiro, strip down the CEO, dress him up as a homeless person, inject some meth into him, and then proceed to shoot him, because then Ben would be like, very bossed.
Ill homeless person is abusing people on the subway, threatening them physically.
You don't get it, Yuga. When it's a rich guy, it's different. Oh. Please, more CEO cocks in my mouth, y'all.
And Daniel Penny, who's a veteran, comes up behind him and puts him in a submission hold. Again, the goal of the submission hold is to make him
that CEO bad, that homeless person good. Literally that, and it's happening in 3D in front of us. That is the guy is like, he makes these videos back to back. Do you understand me? He makes these videos back to back. Back to back, a video where violence never good. No kill man, no matter what he do to you. And then another violence okay when poor man do bad thing to you. Fuck that guy. This is the ultimate timeline. I fuck with this timeline now. It's the ultimate timeline. It's the ultimate timeline.
But I have a question. You're a sitting senator from Massachusetts. You're a sitting senator from Massachusetts. It seems like you might have something to do with this a little bit. So I have a question. If they're frustrated with the system, Are they allowed to assassinate you? The answer, of course, is no, nor should it be yes. And nobody should be making a but about that point. But when it comes to the left, they make that point all the damn time. Submit. It is to either push him to submit or to push him into unconsciousness. It was not to kill him. There's all sorts of evidence that was presented, particularly by the defense, showing that it was not, in fact, the...
Oh, fucking incredible shit.
There's a piece over at Politico trying to explain what exactly is going on.
Yeah, who had that somebody sent me the Kyle Rittenhouse post on X, on Twitter, on whatever the fuck. This. You have to have seen this. Everybody's seen this. You have to see this. You have to have seen this.
Let's get loud for Kyle Rittenhouse.
Murder, assassination, vigilantism. It's wrong, it's evil, it's despicable. There's no hero. Cheering for the murder of an unarmed man is beyond sick.
For anyone that sympathizes and empathizes with a murderer, that is completely upside down in our American society. There are people that need to reevaluate their inner soul and their moral compass. Yeah. There is nothing acceptable to me about that.
Wackos are treating suspected killer as a folk hero. Actual praise for the murder itself.
To sympathize with them, it's just disgusting.
You know, they have a Bonnie and Clyde syndrome in the DSM-V4 in psychiatric treatment, and that's when some people are enamored by criminals.
You don't have the right to go out and kill somebody and take, vigilante justice into your hands. So I think it's really disturbing to people across the country as they tune in and hear, people excited and saying there's joy from this. I think it's really concerning.
Kyle!
I love America. Beautiful.
Over here, Joshua Zeitz is a Politico magazine contributing writer, and he has a piece talking about a particular theory called social banditry. He traces that to the Marxist scholar Eric Hobsbawm in 1959. He suggested that social bandits were sometimes fictional, sometimes real figures who operated outside of the law and were widely revered for their efforts to mete out justice in an unjust world, like Robin Hood, for example. Hobsbawm's theory, which historians continue to debate, rested on a fairly...
What do you think about Robin Hood, Ben? What do you think about Robin Hood? What do you think he thinks about Robin Hood, one of the most internationally celebrated figures of European history? What do you think he thinks about Robin Hood?
Specific Marxian analysis of power and economic relationships.
But again, PR expert in a white tie, white boy Yugopnik in chat. That is the pitch. We have found it. Even though we are just starting the Cockchod watch, we have found it. The pitch by the right on how to make sure nobody who is in the center or identifies as right wing, their pitch in order to make sure they don't get any class consciousness is the classic, the left likes this guy, so you don't get to like this guy. The left is celebrating the killing of CEOs, so you don't get to do that. The left thinks that the privatized health insurance is extremely fucked up. Therefore, you do not get to think privatized health insurance is extremely fucked up. Like, it took them over a week, and this is the only thing they've come up with. And the comments reveal that it's so not working. So not working. Of course, the rich man is protecting other rich men. Ben doesn't care about those who don't have money to get help. Stop trying to play left versus right. It's a human right to have health care. This is incredible. It's not working in real time. You're watching them like make a bad move after a bad move in a game of chess. It's fascinating. It's pretty fascinating.
In agrarian societies, but such characters transcended.
If you don't listen to me and eat your veggies, the left will come and take you away. I found a reverse. The killer was from a rich family. The poor hate the rich, so why are you celebrating him? A lot of people on the left are unironically saying this, which is fucking wild. It is fucking wild. Or like, the guy is like weird about sex toys in Japan. You can no longer talk about him in a positive light, indeed.
Different geographies and times, ranging from the fictional Robin Hood in 14th century England.
Luigi has been a blessing for the media literacy of the general population, absolutely.
to brutally violent real-life outlaws like Jesse James and Billy the Kid in the post-Civil War era United States to Pancho Villa in the early 20th century
Pocket pussies, Luigi, not the pocket pussies.
Mexico. So what exactly is the theory?
Well, by the way, I haven't even properly read that post because I unironically don't care. But like, you do realize that it is absolutely fucked up that people in Japan are not having sex and are falling asleep on the streets from how much they're overworked in their corporate world, and the fact that they can't find partners again because of capitalism utilizing a pre-existing culture of honor there to overexploit them, which leads to them not really having partners and then over-consuming porn and just being fucking gooners their whole fucking life. I mean, that is a fucked up thing. You're like, this is not a good thing. Who the fuck said that's a good thing?
The theory basically suggests that social banditry attracts popular attention and support in rural environments where the state is weak, where peasants' long-standing prerogatives were eroding in the face of economic change, and where inequality was rampant. So that means
Luigi may be politically stupid, but he's got enough class solidarity that they don't care. Like, even if Luigi was the most like vile piece of shit, which he isn't, but even if he was the most vile piece of shit, that's not what you should focus on. What you should focus on is the actual story, the actual symbolism of the assassination of a CEO by somebody who was harmed by the privatized healthcare industry. And you need to utilize that particular rhetoric to introduce people to understanding how the profit motive is directly harming their life and their loved ones, and how the rich do not give a shit about you, and how different rules apply to the super wealthy than they do to everyday Joes. That is the symbol you need to fucking milk the living shit out of. Okay? Very nice.
Means that if you then commit individual acts of violence, you are rebelling against some sort of evil system.
Luigi is the white bread of assassins, but that's why we love him. Absolutely. I also love white bread. I love white bread.
The problem, of course,
I unironically will toast white bread and put mayonnaise on it and have that be my lunch. I'm probably dying in 5 years, but my guts probably look like fucking like American infrastructure at this point.
Of course, is that is not how the United States works. The reality is that while people might be large-scale upset with insurance companies, and I think for some good reasons because of the regulatory environment.
Thank you, Yarana. Advice 3. Thank you very much for the 4-month streak.
The basic Marxian idea.
It just further shows that this is not a left versus right issue, and I hope the fact gets through people's brains now. I mean, arguably almost all issues are not really issues between political ideologies. They're issues between a rational understanding of cause and effect and an irrational understanding of cause and effect. We just gave words to describe ideologies because certain people don't want to, believe in a rational analysis. So they're like, oh, I'm not with those rationals. And then, they became conservatives, et cetera, et cetera. At the end of the day, if you want to improve the world somewhat, what do? You are like, why is this happening? And you come to certain conclusions on why this is happening. And some of the conclusions are irrational as fuck. The others are fucking scientific. And then depending on the direction you go in, that's what defines your life. Just us, fucking people that make our whole lives revolve around it. We call it left, right, communist, conservative, et cetera, et cetera. For the rest is just, going with it.
Idea, which is that violence is now justified in a democratic republic because you don't like how a company is doing its business. That is, in fact, as most Marxist materialism is, wrong, and also...
Let's be honest, the biggest unifying factor Luigi has is that he is a well-educated, super hot go-getter. It's hilarious. But I don't know if you're saying that ironically, because that's absolutely not it. Like, people were supporting him and what he did instinctively from the get-go before we knew what he looks like or what kind of a person he was.
The basic Marxian idea, which is that violence is now justified in a democratic republic because you don't like how a company is doing its business. That is, in fact, as most Marxist materialism is, wrong and also morally wrong.
Materialism is wrong and it is morally wrong, but it is okay for a corporation to do killing, but it is not okay to do a killing against a corporation because you don't like that they're doing killing. Ben be like, Ben be putting on that fucking Ivan Grozny mask. Hey, the death of tens of thousands is simply a statistic. The death of one man is murder. Oh, this is a childish fucking argument. I'm not even going to address this. Oh.
Yeah, the argument here is that we don't have effective government with regard to this stuff, and that's why things aren't changing. Well, we have more regulation.
The argument is much simpler, Ben. The argument is if you keep doing something that is causing the deaths of thousands, eventually somebody's going to shoot you in a fucking alleyway. That's the fucking argument, Ben. We do not need to engage in a debate of wits. This is humanity, brother. You fuck with enough people, eventually there's going to be a motherfucker that offs you, okay? So us even materialists are simply proposing a solution, which is, hey, let's not fuck each other over 24/7 so that a line go up and nobody has to die in any fucking alleyway or in any fucking hospital. Oh my God. Ooh, incredibly advanced Marxian matrix logic, 3D, 4D chess. No, it's hey, don't fuck a lot of people up or something bad's going to happen to you. And they're like, oh, but we're not fucking people up. We are just making money and running a corporation. And then the counter argument is, that's an excuse. You're fucking people up. If a parent says, oh, I'm just beating the shit out of my kid because I want him to become a very strong man, it is not a good enough excuse. Stop beating up your child. Same way, if you're like, oh, but this is legal and I'm a corporation, I'm going to let people not get fucking prosthetics after they lose their leg. It is not a good enough argument, and you will eventually be shot in a fucking alleyway. You don't need to have a fucking philosophy degree for this.
On the healthcare industry than virtually any other industry in the United States. We have more subsidization of the healthcare industry.
It's kind of crazy that this guy just says words and some people have no clue what Marxism or any leftist terms are because of decades of Red Scare, usually lap it up. And even then, for this instance, people reject him due to sheer dissonance with reality. Absolutely.
Than literally any industry in the United States, bar none. Medicare and Medicaid comprise a huge chunk of our budget every.
Duh, didn't you remember when we made corporations, people, and then deputize them and pay them to blast trash into space? Company kills people for money is normal and even good, according to Ben. Exactly, chat. Exactly.
Single year in the United States, and that's leaving aside state.
It's like we are experiencing it in 3D, like. We are I don't think you understand. This is relatively monumental. Okay, you're experiencing history with your boy Hugo. What kind of history? You are experiencing a moment in American understanding of culture and of politics when a right-wing talking head is saying this is Marxist and therefore it is bad, for normal everyday chuds to hear it and say, shut the fuck up, Jesus fucking Christ. Are you guys calling everything bad just Marxist and therefore we must all believe it is bad? That dissonance, they are actively shooting one of their strongest arguments in the foot, which is the Marxists are everywhere and they want to kill all of you. They want to make your children trans. The argument is literally dying in front of us because they are so disassociated from reality that it's becoming obvious even to the dumbest of chuds. It's absolutely beautiful.
State costs.
I feel like this is an instance of contradiction resolving itself. Never change, never change, Toasty. Oh.
But this basic idea, and it does tear apart the country, is the idea the system is so broken that individual murder is the solution to the system. You shouldn't tolerate that particular argument when it comes to the supposed racial injustice of the United States. You should not tolerate that argument when it comes to the economic system of the United States. And you shouldn't tolerate that argument when it comes to the health system of the United States either.
But you should tolerate that argument when the corporation ends up killing thousands directly or indirectly. I am Ben Shapiro, the smartest man on the interwebs.
Again, no one is denying people's bad feelings about health insurance companies, many of which...
But you are denying that they're killing people.
Again, I think are fully understandable. But the extension of that to, I now have sympathy with the murder of the CEO is a step beyond and has no limiting principle at all. It's truly ugly. Okay, meanwhile, the Daniel Penny trial is now over. The fallout, of course, is not. The left is super upset over Daniel Penny's acquittal. So Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez had the dumbest take of the day, predictably, since she's not a particularly smart human being. She suggested that people who ride subways should fear Daniel Penny, which is a hell of a statement considering that he literally saved subway riders from a highly drug-addled...
Ben, you really are a fucking idiot, bro. Jesus fucking Christ. Hire me or some shit. You don't know how to do your job. You really... I think he's lost it completely. You don't know how to... Why would you do this? Why would you bring up Penny in the same video? Why would you do... Why? Like now I'm like fully like LARPing as a rightoid. Why? Why would you in a video where you're making arguments that taking a life is always fucked up, no matter how fucked up the organization somebody represents is, bring up a guy who you will support killing another guy?
Deeply mentally ill, violent, threatening homeless person. Here's Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez finding this.
Why are you doing this, Ben? Ben, stop. Stop, please. This is too easy. I'm going to be out of a job, bro. What the fuck, dude?
Stupidest possible take.
Violent homeless guy. Violent homeless guy.
Essentially said that he would do it again if necessary, if there was a present threat. What do you make of the comments?
Well, doesn't that, I just feel like that tells us everything. If we do not want violence on our subways, and the point of our justice system is a level of accountability to prevent a person who does not have remorse about taking another person's life. I mean, even people who have engaged.
Daily Wire lost Brad Cooper and Ben Shapiro is entirely juiceless. He really is. He really is. Middle-aged dweeb. And he's like centralized power so much in the Daily Wire that I don't think anybody has the audacity of telling him, yo, bro, maybe we shouldn't do this like this. Like, it's not going to work, man. It's not going to work.
In manslaughter or have taken a life accidentally express remorse. And so the fact that a person may express no remorse indicates that there's a risk that it may happen again. And if we do not want to unleash that level of violence, then we should exert a level of accountability to prevent that from happening again.
So apparently he should have been remorseful for attempting to stop a guy who was shouting that he was going to kill everyone on the subway. He should.
Yeah, the difference between him and a healthcare insurance CEO is that the healthcare insurance CEO doesn't run around screaming, I will deny you healthcare, which will cause you to die. So just remember, Ben will approve of you killing as long as you don't say what you're doing is killing. Oh, why would you put it in the same video, Ben? Why the fuck would you put it in the same video?
You should express remorse for that. Are you tired of the lies and the twists of...
Oh, we're looking at the collapse in real time. Any form of respect that this man might have received from centrists. It's done. It's done. It's done. No, it's unironically done. It's done. His centrist audience is done. Completely done. I hope he makes 100 more videos. Hope he makes 100 more fucking videos on this topic. Ben, please keep talking about the CEO killer. Please keep talking about the CEO killer and how bad he is. And how much you love sucking healthcare, whatever fucking cock. Okay? Please. Please.
Alrighty, folks. Well,
okay?
Yesterday,
Luigi Mangione. Look at the continuation of like the masochism. My boy is very he's definitely into BDSM, dude. He's definitely into it because now he wants to be completely cucked by Bill Burr as well. It's absolutely amazing. One of the most beloved fucking stand-up comedians in the planet, and he's like, I'm going to take him on. I'm going to take him on the particular topic that everybody in my audience disagrees with me on, indeed. Oh, it's lovely. Sorry to bother you, but can you lower the video's volume a bit? It's way louder than your voice. Okay, of course, my friend. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Always tell me when I should adjust my audio levels, because OBS is a very vengeful wife. You know, I love her, but she is very vengeful, and she does bad things when I don't look. Did I just do a misogyny on OBS? Maybe.
Fioni, who's the alleged of the United Healthcare CEO.
No, I just said that I like when my partners are toxic. That's what I'm saying. What if it's a big brain left-wing play to get free healthcare by comparing two different medical situations and the negative outcomes of that situation? Imagine that world. I hate my wife. Ha ha ha. Am I right, guys? I love my wife. I'm not even married. Not even married yet. Women, hot chip, lie. Anyways, yeah, let's watch him attack. Attack Bill Burr. This is a fucking lovely. I love today. Today's such a good day, chat. By the way, for every 10 gift subs, you get 5 additional subs. So pour that oil all over me as I grind on Ben Shapiro's arguments.
He had been arrested in Altoona, Pennsylvania, and he was brought into the courthouse in Hollidaysburg, Pennsylvania, where he immediately began shouting at the press. It's not totally clear what he is saying here, but here is video of him emerging from a police car and being ushered into the jailhouse where he is being held pending his possible extradition to New York. He apparently is fighting that extradition. Here's what it sounded like yesterday.
And it's completely out of touch and an insult to the intelligence of the American people.
Look, my viewers, he's literally the Joker, and the Joker is bad. Look how mad this man is. You cannot support him. Did I mention that he's a communist? And he's mad. Don't you love Batman? Well, he's the opposite of Batman. I am actually Batman, and I will single-handedly stop this Joker. That is unironically what's playing on repeat in Ben Shapiro's head, okay?
So what he appears to be shouting there is it's an insult to the intelligence of the American...
Holy shit, Pixarino! Thank you very much for supporting our great jihad. A great jihad against them goddamn advertising in this motherfucker. Let's make that shit fucking go hard, brother. Yeah, brother. Yeah, mother, another 5, and then Jeb Tush with another fucking 9 months, baby, on board. Please help us. Look at the blue screens fucking explode on screen. Look at the, listen to the child. Is the alert not working again? I swear to fucking God. I'm going to fuck up, what's its name, Streamlabs. I pay for that shit.
A new child soldier.
Oh no, the alerts are on. The alerts are on, right? The alerts are on, okay? Yeah, baby, yeah, baby. Thank you for lubing me up for Ben. Usually when I'm not lubed up with Ben, he complains all the time.
Wonderful, a new child soldier.
He's always like, oh, is this what my wife feels? There's no oil. Thank you very much, Ramka. We must include subsidized proletarian Zaza in our healthcare policy. Absolutely, dude. Everybody gets Zaza. Zaza and vodka. Okay? We must always remember our alcoholic comrades as well, okay? Not just the potheads. We also exist. This is alcoholic communist, what was the word? Removal, not removal. Erasure. This is alcoholic communist erasure. It's not just potheads, okay?
American people and their lived experience.
Thank you again very much, Pixarino. That was very, very kind of you. Thank you very much.
It's not exactly clear what he is talking about right there. What is the insult? That you've been arrested when the evidence is...
He is insane. He's the Joker and I'm Batman. I just can't wait for that fucking pitch. Don't you know that I'm sorry.
Pretty clear that you were the person who shot to death Brian Thompson, this United Health executive. I mean, what exactly is the insult to the lived experience? Is the idea that if you've had a bad experience with a health insurance company, this means that you now get to murder the head of the health...
Cross-faded communists. Yeah, you are our super soldiers, okay? You are our unironic super soldiers. The Zaza alcoholic split, no, we will never split. We will never split. We accept each other's degenerate personality splits, but we do not split.
Insurance company. By the way, not even clear in this particular case that the alleged shooter's health conditions had anything to do with United Health. Like nothing. In fact, it is unclear by whom he was insured. What we know, as we discussed yesterday on the program.
Ben, can you understand there is a concept of you fighting a whole system? You know, systems, you know what a system is? No, Ben, not Windows operating system. Systems, and when you're not an idiot, okay, when you're not an idiot, you understand it is not individuals, but systems which cause very large problems that then impact you or your family. And then when you want to do something against it, you try to issue a statement, sometimes more radical, sometimes less radical, like what we're doing here, against that particular system. And what he did was issue a very direct statement through the metaphoric body of a CEO that just got a heart attack in the middle of Manhattan. I don't know what you're talking about.
Is that this particular person, Mangione, he had some sort of surfing accident where he had a really bad back injury that apparently left him in crippling pain. And he had a surgery that is very often unsuccessful that implanted a series of pins in his spine. And he presumably was having some sort of fights with some health insurance company, but that is totally unclear. And he did leave.
No, bro, he can't understand all that. You raised the bar far too high for him, did you? He fell on those bullets. It was self-defense. We all saw the CEO had a gun.
A manifesto. His manifesto is very short. It's 262 words. And it is worth exploring because it is a window into the mind of people who tend to believe that because the world is filled with problems, this means you get to shoot people, which is unfortunately a growing sentiment on the left and even some parts of the right.
Oh, he's like, he's acknowledging that people are like, fuck off, dude. Shut the fuck up. You don't know what you're talking about. He's acknowledging it. He's doing the little infighting of the right, guys. The right is, oh my God, the right wingers are so cute. They're going to have their first infighting. This is so nice. We should give them tips. Oh, so guys, like right wingers, so you can call the other guy a revisionist, right? You can call him a revisionist, and then he can call you a social chauvinist, and then you can call him a Jew. Yeah, that would work for you guys. Yeah, for us that doesn't work, but you can call him a Jew, or like if somebody like has like larger lips or like a nicer, bigger nose, you can be like, you probably have black in you or some shit. It's gonna be so fun to watch. It's gonna be so fun to watch. I can't wait for the twist of like wanting to kill CEOs in America is actually anti-Semitic because a lot of them happen to be Jewish.
So here is what the alleged...
We should sue them for copyright infringement.
Shooter actually wrote, quote, to the feds, I'll keep this short because I do respect what you do.
I can't wait for the twist of Ben Shapiro being against the... against the rights to bear arms. Thank you, Romka. What would be the right-wing analog of Trotz-Duginists? I guess.
For our country. To save you a lengthy...
No, Ben now, because nobody likes him.
Investigation, I state plainly that I wasn't working with anyone. This was fairly trivial, some elementary social engineering, basic CAD, a lot of patience. The spiral notebook, if present, has some straggling notes and to-do lists that illuminate the gist of it. My tech is pretty locked down because I work in engineering, so probably not much info there. I do apologize for any strife of traumas, but it had to be done. Frankly, these parasites simply had it coming. A reminder, the U.S. has the #1 most expensive healthcare system in the world, yet we rank roughly number 42 in life expectancy. United is the, and then it's handwritten, so indecipherable, largest company in the U.S. by market cap behind only Apple, Google, Walmart. It has grown and grown, but has our life expectancy? No, the reality is these blank have simply gotten too powerful, and they continue to abuse our country for immense profit because the American public has...
Thank you, Ben, for platforming a very based opinion. I mean, God bless you.
Allowed them to get away with it. Obviously, the problem is more complex, but I do not have the space, and frankly, I do not pretend to be the most qualified person to lay out the full argument. But many have illuminated the corruption and greed decades ago, and the problem simply remains. It is not an issue of awareness at this point, but clearly power games at play. Evidently, I'm the first to face it with such brutal honesty. Okay, there are a couple of key lines here that are quite amazing.
Anybody see Mersheimer versus Dugin? What? Those two dudes talked the fuck?
Term.
Holy shit. Holy shit. Should we watch this? Chat, should we watch this? Romka, do we watch this? I think I'm gonna fucking off myself if we have to watch this. They just made Hugo an early Christmas. This is true international hogwatch. Old off, let's go. I said, holy shit, at the exact same moment as you did. I didn't know this existed. I just saw Tucker and Lavrov. Yeah, my plan was to watch Tucker and Russian Minister of Defense, but this is... Mersheimer is semi-based. No, he is. He unironically is. He's a very, very okay academic. But... shit. But I want to piss on Ben. But Ben made this like 50 fucking minutes long. The fuck? Okay, let's watch Ben versus Bill, and then we can watch Dugin, okay? I can't wait for Dugin to talk about the trans people to alien pipeline. I don't know if you know this, trans people in chat, but apparently you all want to become aliens, according to Dugin.
So bad that he got frustrated with the audience. Website at tnusa.com/Shapiro. That's 1-800-958-1000, or visit tnusa.com/Shapiro today in Hollywood, Florida. It was so bad. Help you need with Tax Network USA. So this entire show that he did in Hollywood, Florida, it was so bad that he got frustrated with the audience. The audience was not laughing at his jokes because his jokes were basically about how Floridians were a bunch of anti-gay racists. And Floridians were like, that's not true. There are a lot of gay people who live down here and a lot of Hispanics and black people who live down here. And in fact, the room is filled with Jews. Right? And
I'm not going to say anything.
So he actually got so frustrated, he ended up cutting his show early and walking off the stage. And the reason was he was totally disconnected from the audience. Well, that disconnect has continued.
Didn't that happen like 6 years ago or some shit? And it was funny because he literally made fun of the Bill Burr versus audience. No, it's in Philadelphia. Was he talking about Philadelphia? This is 12 years ago. The guy had to dig so hard. I know Florida. There's a Florida event. The Florida event.
Age.
That was Philly, yeah.
And the reason was he was totally disconnected from the audience. Well, that disconnect has continued. You'll remember that he appeared on Bill Maher's show where he declared solidarity with the pro-Hamas students on campus.
The pro-Hamas students!
And now he is proclaiming that he is very happy that CEOs are walking around in fear for their lives. Okay, now, you do get some extra points for being a comedian.
No, he gets extra points because he's based as fucking shit. And I always said he's one of our fucking guys, okay? Because he is fucking funny. Because he punches up, okay? Jesus.
In today's day and age, meaning that we will tend to give you some more leeway to say edgy things because you're trying to be funny. And it's not clear to me here.
When Bill Burr talks about politics, it's like if Engels only ever watched pro wrestling. Absolutely. And that's why I love him so much. He's like so fucking progressive and class conscious without being fucking nerdy and annoying about it. It's fucking sick, dude. He will make allegories about football and then use them on why like rich people suck. It's so fucking good. He'll use like the allegory like, dude, if you're like stuck in traffic and you have to stay in one lane, but all the fucking more expensive cars get to drive through the faster lane, that's so fucked up. It's like class society, man. Fuck that shit. We all either fucking make bigger roads so it's fucking easier to drive, or you ain't getting more privilege because you got a nicer fucking truck, bitch. Like that. There you go. Like a true people's progressive, you know? Like my type of guy. A toxic fucking white boy. Okay? But that's not a piece of shit. Okay? I love it. I fucking love it. It's so relatable. Finally found an American I can relate to. Understand? Even though I'm not into sports ball a lot. Which I don't know. There was some Twitter posts about liking sports as a leftist not being allowed, which is fucking wild because I don't watch any fucking sports. But that's fucking wild. That is a wild fucking take. The fuck?
Here, that Bill Burr is attempting to be funny. This is just his actual political opinion. He's not saying anything funny or insightful here. Here is Bill Burr yesterday explaining that he is perfectly fine with CEOs having to live with full-time security.
What are we popping today? We're popping CEOs. I mean, we're popping Velos. 2 out of 6. I am slowly making them weaker and weaker. The green, what's it called? Bright spearmint. The strength, my beautiful children, is 6 milligrams per pouch. It is the strongest that you can get in the good old United States. They're weak as fuck, bro. I know they're weak as fuck, bro, but I fuck with them, you know? I don't want to fucking pass out as like I almost once did with the fucking Cuba ones.
Because they fear they might be shot, because after all, they're murderers too. I don't believe that Bill Burr holds the same standard for comedians. There's an argument that's been made by the left. It is a crap argument when made about comedians, and it's a crap argument when made about CEOs. The argument goes something like this on the left. People like Bill Burr mock the vulnerable. They mock the marginalized, and thus they are a danger to the vulnerable and the marginalized.
So no, Ben, you fucking idiot. Specific comedians that make fun of the marginalized and that punch down are shit particular individuals and are shit comedians because that's the cheapest form of comedy. While all CEOs do get to be generalized because they cannot exist as a concept if there wasn't exploitation of labor and aka the workforce of a particular company, or the exploitation of consumers, aka everybody that gets to buy that service or buy that product at a marginally or sometimes extremely more expensive price because, well, the market deemed it to be so, even though it's not very rational. That is why. It's a difference, okay? It's like... yeah, I don't even need to add to that.
So presumably, Bill Burr should have to live in fear of making a joke. Bill Burr should have to live in fear because he doesn't know who he's damaging. In any case, here is Bill Burr openly cheering the murder of a United Health executive because he says CEOs should live in fear if they don't act in the way that he would have them act in a system that he has no fixes for, by the way.
You know what's annoying me about this kid who killed this CEO is none of these news programs are talking about the incredible lack of empathy from...
Look, they use like a picture of him being super fucking handsome in a fucking tuxedo. God, you guys are so stupid.
The general public about this because of how these insurance companies treat people when they're at their most vulnerable, after we've all given them our money every month and now we finally need you and all you do is deny us. And then all of these things are taking the pictures of their CEOs off their websites. You know, I got to be honest with you, okay? I love that CEOs are afraid right now. You should be. By and large, you're all a bunch of selfish, greedy pieces of... And a lot of you are mass murderers. You just don't pull the trigger. That's why it looks clean. That's why these people look, oh my God, oh, he was just, walking into a hotel. It's like, okay, well, what was his job? What did he do? What was...
Ben literally platforming extremely based and arguments that cannot really be argued with. Thank you, Comrade Ben? Comrade Ben, our guy? Did Comrade Ben switch sides and then now he's intentionally sabotaging the Daily Wire? Comrade Ben, fire all your writers because you're fucking... This is the second video we're watching that's just like, whoa. Thank you for making our arguments for us, bro. GG, dude. Let me fucking mail you a Ushanka and a Russian passport, bro.
Was the results of it?
Okay, Bill Burr is a piece of... Okay, well, what he is saying here is truly evil. He's truly evil. He's saying you should live in fear if you're the CEO of a company.
He's saying you should live in fear if you harm a lot of people. How does he not get... How...
And that company does things that Bill Burr deems to be bad things. Now,
yeah, like all things. Literally all things can either be deemed to be good or bad, depending on perspective. Oh my God, it's like fucking...
We have laws on the books, for example, that prevent things like fraud. Okay, we have laws on the books that prevent things like...
Yeah, Ben, and at one point we had laws that allowed you to be a slave owner. And then slaves or, relatively normal white people were like, yo, that's whack. And then they whacked them. And then after a while, people were like, yeah, we don't really feel bad about them getting whacked. And we're like, maybe we should change this whole system because slavery is kind of fucked up even though it's legal. And then eventually that changed. Ben not understanding the concept that ethics and morality changes through the centuries based on the systems in which they exist is fucking wild. Don't they teach you that in sociology at like second grade of gymnasium, second year of high school? Because they taught me. I knew this before I was a Marxist. I knew this when I was 15, 16. They're like, yo, there's laws, but laws change based on what the majority of a particular country agree on those laws being. That's why we don't cut each other's fucking arms off anymore.
Embezzlement. We have laws on the books that punish criminal
Forgetting he's American sometimes. I
activity.
forget.
If you don't like the system, and many people don't, the proper response to that system would be legislation.
What's a gymnasium? It's a gymnasia. It's these more like gymnasia. Gymnasia Mostar. It's a term in various European languages for a secondary school that prepares students for higher education at the university. It's comparable to the U.S. English term preparatory high school or the British term grammar school. There you go. Other, like you have high schools that are more specialized. For example, the economics high school, the crafts high school, the engineering high school, and then you have a gymnasium which is more broad. That's the concept. 9th to 12th grade. It's high school. We have that here too in Austria. It's like 5th to 12th grade. Yeah, just in post-Yugoslav world, I think most of Balkans as well. It's from the 9th to the 12th. So 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. First you're in middle school. First you start. And for the first 4 years, you just have one teacher. Right? And then from 4th to 8th grade, you have one class that you're in, but you're running around these different teachers that are specialists in their particular fields, history, physics, chemistry, etc., etc. And then you go to, depending on what type of high school you go to, you either more specialize on certain things, or you go to a gymnasium, which is usually split between social sciences or so-called natural sciences, aka math, physics, and so on. And then you relatively specialize in those, and then you get into a university that you would prefer. Usually, when it comes to state universities, completely free, or they can cost up to, I think, 1,000 euros a year in most post-Yugoslav countries. 1,000 euros, some are a bit more expensive, like 2,000 euros a year. Yeah. Did you get ancient Greek and Latin? I did 2 years of Latin. De gustibus non est disputandum fiat lux. That is all that I remember. Here in the Netherlands, the gymnasium means you do high school plus ancient languages. That's cool. Hugo is a gym pal boy. There's a joke like Huliganis Gimnazio. Like, I don't know if they're like gymnasium hooligan, because like the kids that go to a gymnasium are usually pussies. Like hooligan is gymnasio. Like this at least was a joke. Well, no, there's nothing. For example, there's a video of a guy, I don't know, walking down the street, and he sees a trash can, and then he like completely fucks it up and trashes everywhere. But because he goes to a gymnasia, he goes back and he picks up all the trash and puts it back into the trash can.
Democratic republic, the way that you fix problems is you have open discussions of the details of those problems, and then you try to craft regulatory or...
What does it call a gymnasium, by the way? I have no idea. It's a good question, but nothing is... If I read gymnasium... There's a term, and is a variation of the word gymnasia. There's a term in various European languages for a secondary school that prepares for higher education, blah, blah, blah. The word gymnasium, from Greek gymnos, naked or nude, was first used in, ancient Greece, in the sense of a place for both physical and intellectual education of young men. The latter meaning of a place of intellectual education. We were just all naked there, chat. Intellectual education persisted in many European languages. Albanian, Bulgarian, Czech, Dutch, Estonian, Greek, German, Hungarian, Macedonian, Polish, Russian, Scandinavian languages, Croatian, Serbian, Slovak, Slovenian, and Ukrainian. Whereas in other languages like English, gymnasium, gym is, yeah, it's more used for the place you work out in. There you go.
Legal fixes. You do not say that it is a good thing that CEOs should live in fear of their lives because Bill Burr deems them morally inferior. Bill Burr doing his blue-collar class routine act is a bunch of horse. Bill Burr is worth $14 million, and he makes his money making crap movies for...
He makes his money by being an actor, and he makes his money by writing his own jokes and then saying them out loud and people liking them and paying money to experience them. That is as close to ethically making money as a human could. Almost no exploitation involved whatsoever. Okay? You could make fun of him for signing deals with gambling institutions and shit. Right? Like, because he often gets sponsored by these, like, gambling shits. But, hey, nobody's perfect, I guess. Glasshouse, Ben Glasshouse. It's hilarious for this guy to be saying this.
Netflix at this point. Again, this basic idea, if we're going to have a functioning country, you can't justify the murder of people who run their businesses legally in ways with which you disagree. It is one thing to disagree with them. You can call them whatever you want. When you start justifying them living in fear or suggesting maybe they should be murdered, I'm just wondering what the limiting principle here is. I'm wondering what it is. The alleged shooter in this case.
Ben acting like he doesn't make money talking into a microphone once a week.
Was echoing.
Hey, this man is a hypocrite for talking about politics. What does he know? He just speaks into a microphone, said the man sitting there speaking into a microphone. Sometimes I feel like you chatters should be where I am.
Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber. The Unabomber suggested that if you were, for example, an oil executive, maybe you should be murdered. Because after all, there were externalities to the oil industry.
I mean, you said it.
Why not the banking industry?
No, of course you... Ben, why are you doing this, Ben? Let's listen to that again. Ben, it's Ben saying it.
Externalities to the oil industry. Why not the banking industry? Why not? Maybe Bill Burr doesn't like the banks. After all, that bank denied Grandma her loan. So maybe Jamie Dimon should be tracked down and murdered. This kind of stuff is full stop evil. It is evil. I don't care what complaints you have with the health insurance company. The notion that the solution to those complaints is the murder of the executives is sick.
As fuck. Somebody do an edit and cut it there. Literally an edit. Like do an edit on this, please, someone.
That the solution to those complaints is the murder of the executives is sick. If you were living in a tyrannical society where you didn't have any legal correctives to any of this, and you had no alternatives in terms of Medicaid, which does exist, and you had no alternatives in terms of other health insurance programs, then you can make the argument in a full-scale monarchic tyranny that assassination is a proper response to this. But that's not the system in which we live. And promulgating that lie leads to greater violence. It leads to justification of all violence. Unfortunately, it's not just Bill Burr. It is so many members of the...
Do a live edit again? I can't do it on this because he says it too many times that it's
Dimon
bad.
Should be tracked down and murdered. Because after all, the alleged shooter in this case was echoing Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber. The Unabomber suggested that if you were, for example, an oil executive, Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber. The Unabomber suggested.
Okay, let me try. I'm not going to be successful. Let me try, though. Okay. 1 second. One second. Okay, right here. A little power levels to this. Increase lower and play.
That if you were, for example, an oil executive, maybe you should be murdered. Because after all, there were externalities to the oil industry. Why not the banking industry? Why not? Maybe Bill Burr doesn't like the banks. After all, that bank denied Grandma her loan. So maybe Jamie Dimon should be tracked down and murdered. This kind of stuff is full stop evil. It is evil. I don't care what complaints you have with the health insurance company. The notion that the solution to those complaints is the murder of the executives is sick.
Boom, boom, boom. And then you drop like a...
The notion that the solution to those complaints is the murder of the executives is sick.
It ended up working out relatively okay.
If you were living in a tyrannical society where you didn't have any legal correctives to any of
evil, and we got a stew going. We absolutely do, chat. We absolutely do.
this, and you had no alternatives in terms of Medicaid, which does exist, and you had no alternatives in terms of and Jimmy Kimmel. So Jimmy Kimmel last night decided that he would do an entire segment celebrating the good looks of the alleged shooter. Here he was last night, gleefully chortling over, how good looking.
Let's see how it worked out.
Jamie Dimon should be tracked down and murdered. This kind of stuff is full stop evil. It is evil. I don't care what complaints you have with the health insurance company. The notion that the solution to those complaints is the murder of the executives is sick.
Doom, doom, doom. And then you're...
Wonderful, a new child soldier. Subscriber.
Hello, chat. Hello, Yugo. What are we on right now? We are looking. Thank you very much for the subscription, as always. We are watching the rhetoric that the right is trying to adapt to when it comes to how they want to cover the recent spontaneous heart attack that the CEO had in Manhattan.
The alleged shooter is. Now, I'm old enough to remember when there was widespread national outrage over Rolling Stone running on its cover a picture of the Boston Marathon bomber.
Stop doing it. Wait. I need to remember to do this always. It's time to hydrate.
That made him look particularly handsome or something. And people are like, that's sick. You shouldn't do that. He's a murderer. Here's Jimmy Kimmel just doing it.
So many women and so many men are going nuts over how good looking this killer is. And there's a huge wave of horny washing over us right now. It's like when one of the guys you work...
By the way, this is also whitewashing. But this is liberal whitewashing. The liberals are going to give a pitch that we are all really into this guy because he's super hot. Recognize it. I might be being a bit of a fucking nerd right now and a bit cringe, but this is just liberal whitewashing. Their pitch is going to be, you don't actually like what he's doing. Murder is really bad. Class consciousness is very cringe. Are you insane, communist radical? No, we like him because he's hot as fuck. Because abs, bro. That's going to be the pitch.
says I had a dream about you last night. When it's the FedEx guy with the big muscles and the rolled up sleeves, you're like, oh. But if it's the bald IT guy wearing Crocs with black socks, you're on the phone with HR. It's kind of that same dynamic. Our staff today, I have never experienced anything like this. These are screen grabs of actual exchanges between our members of...
Pizza Famine has the... But we just watched it, but let me see the whole thing.
That if you were, for example, an oil executive, maybe you should be murdered. Because after all, there were externalities to the oil industry. Why not the banking industry? Why not? Maybe Bill Burr doesn't like the banks. After all, that bank did not.
It works.
Of our staff and their friends, relatives, whatever. I've changed the names to protect the guilty, but let's see. Lorraine C. asks, do you guys think the United Healthcare CEO killer is hot? Friend replies, yes. I love Luigi. I think he's gay, though. And it's not just women. This is from the husband of one of our staffers. Did you see the assassin? Yes, I'm so upset. Like, excuse me, LOL. I'm about to be a jailhouse bride. Because damn Shorty is so fine. I'm dead or willing to be. And one more from a young woman in our segment department, texting all my friends in New York that I hope they get called to jury duty. God, I want to do jury duty so bad.
Yeah, hilarious stuff, glorifying the alleged murderer of the United Health CEO. What a delight these people are. It's also in academia, of course. Here is a University of Pennsylvania professor who should, in fact, lose her job. Okay? You should not be teaching students if your attitude toward murder is that it is a net good because you don't like the healthcare system as it currently stands. By the way, I'm just wondering to what extent we get to extend this logic when it comes to government-run systems. So how would people feel about people just assassinating the heads of the National Health Service in Great Britain, for example? I have a feeling these same people would be a little upset about it. Here is the...
Those two things are the opposites, Ben. Ben, how many times did your mother drop you on the fucking head? Is that why you wear the fucking yarmulke all the time, to hide the fucking Albanian bed back there? Holy shit, dude.
University of Pennsylvania professor dancing on TikTok to the murder of the United Health executive. It says, have never been prouder to be a professor at the University of Pennsylvania. Well, not rocking her head to...
And she also has blue hair. Come on, say it, Ben. You want to say it. I know you want to say it, Ben. Say that she has blue hair. Come on, Ben. Say that she has blue hair. Say it, Ben. Say it. The worm in Ben's head. Say it.
Les Mis, who will not be slaves again. Just absolute imbecility. But moral imbecility as well. Apparently the McDonald's...
Fuck, he didn't say it. Shit.
Where the police caught...
Thank you, Flacco Bell. Thank you very much.
The alleged shooter has now been flooded with negative Yelp reviews because the basic idea is that you should not report murderous criminals if you spot them in public. Meanwhile, some TikTokers are threatening to beat up McDonald's workers. Here's one trans TikToker threatening to beat up a McDonald's worker.
They caught the guy that killed the UHC CEO. For such a professional hit, it's kind of weird that the gunman didn't leave the U.S. The guy that reported it was a McDonald's worker. I would never advocate for violence on my page. But it would be pretty funny if we beat the shit out of him, and then when he went to the hospital, that if he was out of network and had to pay a huge bill, I think that would be funny. I'm not advocating for it, but it would bring a smile to my face.
Oh, well, then you're not advocating for it, obviously. Over in New York, signs have been appearing with pictures, wanted pictures of CEOs, with Brian Thompson's face crossed out because, of course, he has been murdered.
You just know he had to go looking for a trans person specifically. What do you think? Of course, bro. Of course. Come on. 1,000,000%. But the pitch continues to take a more academic theory of reactionary spins approach to this. Everything that we're seeing is proving my thesis. Now I'm sounding like Ben Shapiro. My thesis, which is they're basically pulling out all the stops, and they're screaming at their centrist and right-wing identifying audience as Marxists love this assassin. You don't get to do that because you don't get to agree with Marxists. Trans people love him. University professors with purple hair or blue hair, love him. Comedians that are usually very woke love him, etc., etc. That's the general pitch. It's a continuation of classic tribalism of you cannot like a particular policy, a particular action, or a particular worldview because those who are against, I'm just speaking more quiet. I'm Professor Hugo voice right now. Okay, I'm lowering the audio. Thank you very much, Toasty. Where was my argument? Yeah, they're just doing the classic tribalism. Look how much all these people that we have up until now conditioned you into hating approve of this particular thing. You, as someone who is very much against it, should not approve of it. That's the pitch.
Wonderful.
That's what they're going with. That's my thesis. Indeed. Thank you very much, Juan Ju, for the 5 months, you beautiful son of a bitch. Thank you very, very, very much. Be like Juan Ju and become a sub for $6 a month for free through Prime or by donating to those less privileged than you. And avoid the ad that is going to play in 1 minute and 50 seconds. For every 10 gift subs, I spend my own money and give you an additional 5. Thank you very, very much. The jihad shall be successful. No ads shall exist on this platform. One Dead CEO brought both sides together.
Here is
there's an emote for both sides.
Here is some footage of wanted posters of various members of the healthcare industry. Again, wanted posters with their faces on them, presumably to be murdered.
Thank you, Fat Pikachu Forever. I mean, is there a non-chubby Pikachu, you know? Thank you for the 4 months as well.
Do you see this? Deny, defend, oppose at the bottom of it?
And then he made another video about this segment. It's amazing.
This is all insane, especially considering that when it comes to healthcare, that is a complex problem requiring a complex solution. Well, there are
which you're completely against. The complex solution means the fucking state should pay for it and everybody should receive all the health care they get, especially in a country that has so much fucking money. It makes like 1 million tanks a day and puts them in storage just in case, bro. Very complex.
A lot of such problems in your life. One of those is HR. When we started the Daily Wire, the biggest question mark was what we would do for HR. You know, we were focused on creating engaging content, starting a complex solution. This is all insane, especially considering that when it comes to healthcare, that is a complex problem requiring a complex solution. Well, there are a lot of such problems in your life. One of those is HR. When we
People say my fucking ad reads are insane. And my ad reads are against ads. This guy just did, hey, this thing that causes the death of thousands of Americans every month, it's complex. So check out my HR solutions.
We started the Daily Wire, the biggest question mark was what we would do for HR. You know, we were focused on creating engaging content. It's difficult to find a managing professional capable of handling day-to-day HR tasks. Well, if that sounds like you and your business, you need to talk to my friends over at Bambi. With Bambi, you're not just getting an HR manager, you're getting a dedicated partner who's available by phone, email, real-time chat. They'll handle crucial tasks like employee onboarding, terminations, and performance reviews.
Yeah, shut the fuck up. Go back to the cuck shed, bro. Hot sister.
Van het warme Miami naar het koude New York. Heel Amerika is in rep en roer door een politieke moord. Hier op deze plek werd een paar dagen geleden de CEO van het grootste...
English chat losing their minds. English speaking chat losing their minds. I have to read a subtitle! This guy apparently went around and interviewed people in New York. Let's see what people in New York City... I will always say New York City. Yes, that's how I always say it. Fuck you. What their opinion is. Let's see. Maybe he speaks to them in English.
Private insurance bedrijf neergeschoten.
Well, now to the apparent murder of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson in New York City.
New York City!
Thompson, the CEO of United Healthcare, was shot and killed in what appears at this early stage of our investigation to be a brazen, targeted attack.
His gunman who shot and killed that United Healthcare CEO and then just walked off, hopped on an e-bike, and pretty much disappeared.
Belangrijk om duidelijk te maken, de CEO had helemaal niet mogen worden neergeschoten. Want je mag hier helemaal geen wapen bij je hebben.
Look at the smile on his face, it's fucking sick, dude.
See a guy walking over there. After that you have a gun that's like silent.
My friends, they saw, you know, what they shot, but they didn't hear anything, no noise, nothing.
Yeah, because there was like a silencer, right?
Yeah, they just saw a guy falling, another guy running.
I didn't see nothing, I didn't hear nothing. What murder? What the fuck?
The other one.
Op de kogelhulzen die hier werden gevonden stonden de 3 woorden: deny, defend, dispose. Dit refereert naar de tactieken die grote Amerikaanse zorgverzekeraars gebruiken om zo min mogelijk geld uit te keren aan hun verzekerden. En waar staat United Healthcare nou bekend om? Zij zijn eigenlijk de verzekeraar die massaal alle claims van verzekerden afwijst. Want hoe verdien je nou geld als een verzekeraar?
By the way, a little sneak peek. You know what we're gonna have as a patch in the new deprogram merch drop that's coming for tomorrow? It's pretty sick. The font, everything. It's fucking metal. It's fucking metal. It's so metal. They cost a lot to produce, so I think it's gonna be like $8 or $10. I'm not sure. It's a bit expensive, but we don't want to use slave labor, so yeah. But yeah, the triple D, the quadruple D, because the program, defend, deny, depose.
Verzekering door geen geld uit te keren. Dus als je ziek bent bij hun, is de kans heel groot dat de verzekeraar zegt: leuk dat je een operatie hebt gehad, maar dat geld, dat krijg je niet van ons.
He states that it's not medically necessary treatment.
That was an internal phone call between two United Healthcare workers. They're laughing about denying someone's insurance claim. The person they're laughing about is Chris McNaughton. He was in college when he was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis, a chronic autoimmune disease. It took him a really long time to find meds that put his disease into remission. But when he finally did, United flagged Chris's case as a high-dollar account. Ultimately, United said it wouldn't pay for his medicine because it was not medically necessary.
That would make me mad. I don't know if I'd kill because of it, but that would make me mad. You could win $1 million. What
would you do with $1 million?
I'd buy a new ass. Mine's got a crack in it.
And we don't got health care anyway, so good riddance to him.
Yeah.
Of course, a left-leaning person has to come all the way from Scandinavia to interview these people. Because imagine an actual self-respecting Western YouTuber or American YouTuber or, God forbid, media personality interviewing the homeless. When have you ever seen that?
Yeah,
he's not from Scandinavia, he's Dutch. Hey, you confuse Balkan nations all the time. Because of that, I have protracted people's war against the Dutch when I call them Scandinavian. And you guys always lose your shit. It's fucking amazing.
What's the healthcare situation like in the U.S.?
If you go to the hospital, they're going to just keep you sick because that's how the hospital makes money. Doctor tells you got 6 months to live. 6 months later, you can't pay the bill, doctor gives you 6 more months. That's how the healthcare system works in America. I lost 2 brothers, 21 days apart. One died in my hands of a drug and alcohol overdose, and the other one of a overdose from heroin. 6 weeks later, my mom passed away. I'm the last of my line. There is no more family for me. He was military, got shot a couple times. Was on oxycodone for like 6 months. They took him off the oxycodone, and he just tried to find anything to supplement it. He was a Marine Corps sniper.
Serving where?
He was serving in Iraq, Afghanistan.
I think you can see that there is widespread dissatisfaction from Americans over the healthcare system. I mean, I'm nearly 40 years old, and almost every...
Oh, Eugene, what up, man?
Single election I can remember, healthcare and the need to fix or change healthcare has been a major issue in the elections.
You shouldn't even have to pay for healthcare. Canada, don't they have healthcare?
I mean, most European countries have affordable healthcare.
I mean, what the fuck? We're the United States of America. It's supposed to be the fucking strongest and most powerful country, yet you can't fucking afford to give healthcare for everybody.
Where are you from? Netherlands?
Netherlands, yeah.
Yeah, Netherlands, get your shit together. Weed should be legal.
Oh, Amsterdam, beautiful.
What the fuck?
Netherlands, yeah.
Yeah, Netherlands, get your shit together. Weed should be legal.
Oh, Amsterdam, beautiful. You want to smoke?
Asking Americans what they think about the medical system.
Sucks. What else? Look at me, no teeth.
They try, I guess.
Thank you, all Bundys. What fata for the 9 months. I hope the child is beautiful.
That's about it. They try.
We suffer a lot here, man, with the medical. My mother works all her life, and she's fighting now just to get her dentures done and stuff, which is ridiculous,
She can't afford it.
No, she can't afford it, and her medical doesn't cover it. Meanwhile, you work and you pay for medical for 22 years, and they still don't cover it? That's ridiculous.
I think any woman in the United States would resonate with this experience, but I've had so much just back and forth with insurance companies, things that I need to live like a free life where I can make choices of my own autonomy. And insurance companies are just like this horrible middleman who have total control over what you have access to. They make money off your inability to have these choices.
Monthly is about like almost $600, and then co-pays, if I want to take my kid to the doctor, is about like $200 a visit.
$200 a visit? That's wild.
Yeah, so it's like avoiding. People avoid going to the doctor nowadays.
It's just so expensive.
Yep.
Are you insured?
No.
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 So what happens if you get sick then?
I don't know. I really don't know.
It's just a big question mark.
Totally.
What it means for the common working person in America to get sick is a disaster.
Why do you not have free healthcare or affordable healthcare at least? Because
I mean, in America, you don't.
I want to hear chat. Why? What causes most problems in your life? But also, what is your purpose? What is your purpose in capitalism, chat? What is your purpose? It is a
don't really go to the doctor unless you have no other alternative, because the cost is so high. You would rather try to find any possible way to survive, because you know even the most basic healthcare visit.
Let's fucking go.
It could cost you hundreds or thousands of dollars.
Does that mean you ever get worried about being sick?
Not really. We're gonna get sick regardless. It's America.
Like the food will make you sick anyway.
Yeah, we're gonna get sick anyway, so.
Main sicknesses is obesity. If we would just lose the weight, maybe we would feel a little better. That's what I was told by my doctor, which I'm in a work in progress now.
But that's very hard when there's so much unhealthy food around, right?
Exactly, that's just it. And I just went to get McDonald's. You see what I'm saying? It's like,
shit.
You can't win for losing.
We heard right now a lot of CEOs are getting scared.
Hell yeah, they scared. Boy, they locking in right now.
I mean, it's no surprise to me that the online reaction is what it is. I think insurance companies, like what they are in the abstract, is totally like some of the most vile things that exist under capitalism.
Thank you, knife emoji. Thank you very much, beautiful, for the 10 months, motherfucker. Thank you very much.
It's like you truly just making money off the flesh and blood and survival.
But literally, of the flesh and blood, of the life force of humans. It's unironic vampires that do it for Jujugachi Jeongdae.
Of human beings.
And what we're seeing here in the U.S. is that people are desperate for change, especially within our healthcare system. But that's not the only system that people are desperate to see changing. And when people feel like they can't create change in a way that is peaceful, they often turn to other kinds of methods.
Because that's the way we think sometimes when...
Holy shit, a normal, cohesive, human argument. And then you have this fucking guy.
You know, you work for your life for so much, and then you get denied something, your health.
Left Laser is doing a U.S. tour. He has lots of great videos out now that you'll like. Thank you. Let me give him a sub. Left Laser, GGVP.
It's like you're gonna die anyway. All right, so I'm gonna take him with me.
But they're gonna put more effort into looking for him.
Jujugachi Jeongdae does not yield anything on Google because it's in fucking Korean. Like it's in Korean.
And looking for other murderers because it's like a big deal.
Because this time he targeted...
Does you have universal health care? I'm a fucking immigrant that is not a citizen in the country I'm in, and I have universal health care, yes.
Like a rich person.
Obviously, thanks to beautiful motherfuckers like you that are subscribers that fight the great jihad against advertising, I can also afford additional healthcare. So you have normal healthcare, I get covered for like 95% of things, and then I do additional healthcare just in case. I don't know, I need a surgery abroad, God forbid, and shit like that I pay for out of pocket, and it's not that much. It's like... 30 euro a month. I mean, that's a lot of money for some people, but like it's not 200, it's not 300 medical insurance every month, and it's additional. It's like private.
Yeah, CEO, that's a big deal.
You know, everybody, oh, New York, New York, New York. New York is full of shit.
As a worker, do you also struggle with like health insurance?
It's very bad especially for the workers that they don't have any kind of benefits. That's why it's
not tied to employment like America. Yeah, almost every decent employer gives you additional health insurance. But if you're not employed like I am, I can just, hit up the agency and do it for myself.
Union is very important.
I was paying $308 a month last year out of pocket. That's fucking insane. The fuck?
In any country, the union, you know what the union means? Yeah, that is very important. I'm a union member. With my union salary, sometimes I can support my family. I have to have a second job.
What do you do at night then?
It's the same, construction.
Just construction day and night?
Day and night, yeah.
How much hours do you work on those days?
16 hours a day. The employees, they make a lot of money. So they want to do just for them. What about the workers?
Hey, my boy. My boy, my boy.
Vragen jullie aan mij, Bob, moeten we nu collectief CEO's gaan omleggen? Nee, daar ben ik geen voorstander van. Communisten zijn namelijk voor het organiseren van de werkende klasse.
Exact.
Alleen samen kunnen we macht opbouwen en zo een nieuw systeem tot stand brengen. Want United Healthcare heeft morgen gewoon een nieuwe CEO. En het systeem zal helaas blijven draaien.
But that symbol of what happened on that cold street, on that special New York morning, can be utilized for the wider cause.
Willen werkende mensen hun zorgkosten echt betaalbaar gaan maken, dan moeten ze samenkomen, macht opbouwen en zo de wereld veranderen.
I'm a socialist myself, and I work with a group called the Party for Socialism and Liberation, and the roots of our healthcare crisis are the roots of the capitalist crisis, and the fact that our healthcare is provisioned purely and only for profit, and we have to find a way to make it a people-centered system that's about care, not about making money, and the only way we're going to be able to do that is to build organizations and mass movements that can fight to change the system.
Eugene, I love you. I mean, look at the picture. Look at holy shit. I mean, it's what do you think this channel's ideology is? What do you think the ideology of this channel is? I wonder. I don't know. I really wonder. I guess they really like guns and money, and they're very patriotic about the U.S. He truly wants to laser the left.
With Bambi's HR auto...
Did you get to Jeongdae? No, exactly. Some people learn a lesson here. But Juju Gacha Jeongdae is also important for you as a chat. For you must make a line go up for your true employer, and that is the streamer that you are watching. And to do so, you can either subscribe or gift a sub. But I am a good social democratic Twitch streamer / employer of my chat. What does that mean? I give you a little bit of healthcare, also known here on Twitch as I donate 5 gift subs from myself for every 10 gift subs that come from you. So support your very proud and socially and economically progressive CEO, YugopnikTwitch, at twitch.com/YugopnikTwitch, and gift some subs or become a sub yourself and avoid the ad that is about to play. Thank you very much.
Pilot feature, you can streamline essential HR practices like employee training and feedback procedures, freeing up time for what really matters to your business.
Shut the fuck up.
Religious liberties. That's why I'm proud to partner with the International Fellowship.
Oh my God, he has 2 ads in a row.
To our political, well, I mean, it's widespread.
Yeah, the ad plays in 5 minutes.
Spread enough that it has made its way over into the political segment of the body politic, the overtly political. You have the cultural commentators who are sort of tangentially interested in the issue to the extent that they don't know enough about it.
Okay, so he cut that and he played the other video. So, are you guys for real? Do we watch these 2 guys talk and make me want to fucking jump out of a fucking Russian hospital window? John Marsheimer versus Alexander Dugin. Do we really want to do this? I mean, we're Chad watching. We're not going to watch the whole thing. I thought Dugin was your philosophical daddy. Yes, some people for some reason think that. It's absolutely hilarious. It is trans aliens. Yeah, let's talk about trans aliens. Can Trump end the Russia-Ukraine war within a day? Oh my God, and then they talk about it for 20 minutes. Why does Biden keep fueling fire in Russia-Ukraine? Is the Russia-Ukraine conflict rooted in historical issues or a result of... okay, this one's interesting. Let's listen to this one. Let's listen to the hot takes. Okay, Chud Watch, Dugin. Dugin versus Mersheimer. Holy shit. Okay. Let's prepare our souls. Breathe in, breathe out, take out the zen. Thank you, Ronko, for the 100 bits. I can imagine Dugin gooning to old feudal Russia paintings and saying how the Protestants fucked it up. The Protestant work ethic spread from Germany to Russia. That is what reintroduced and satanic mentality in the working peoples of Russia, which rejected the true sainthood of serving their emperor. This is the true reason for the Bolshevik Revolution. Satan and Protestantism. Even back before they started fighting the White Russians, they knew that their long-term plan is to introduce trans people through class consciousness and then through trans people, the eventual betrayal of what it means to be human itself. For aliens shall be born out of the spirit of communism. That is why we must return to tradition. We must return to God, and we must, for God's sakes, not kill my daughter.
We are
Okay, that one's a bit fucked up. I shouldn't have said that.
discussing in a framework that we are living under the dictatorship of American-led liberal democracy, and they're so full of themselves that they don't see how people from other parts of the world, leaders from other sovereign nations, may have a brain of their own.
And the China Academy is hosting this fucking insane shit, bruv. This is crazy, bruv. Oh, la la.
But is there also a possibility, and this is a question who a friend of mine gave me before the conversation started, and he's a proponent for liberal democracy. His question is that, are we sort of giving the United States too much credit? That it is the master, the puppet master orchestrating behind it all. Is it also possible that the conflict in Ukraine is a result of
Ad plays in 1 minute 20 seconds and becomes sub $6 a month for free through Prime or by donating to us. That's privilege in you. And for every 10 gift subs, you get another 5 gift subs from me. Yeah, very good. Ad plays in 1 minute and 10 seconds. Prepare for brain rot.
the long history between Ukraine and Russia, between people living in the eastern part of Ukraine and the western part of Ukraine? Is it possible that it is a very local issue?
I will let Professor Dugin go first this time, since I've gone first in answering all the previous questions. I think it's only just that he have a chance to go first. And then I can respond.
So in my opinion, we could not reduce the importance of the Russian-Ukraine conflicts to regional scale. So that is...
Of course, you cannot reduce any conflict to regional scale. There, I agreed with Dugin. Am I going to get killed now?
Geopolitical issue or the larger scale, because in the reality...
There you go, I'm 125ing this. Is that okay, chat? 125ing this? Okay. Politologist.
The identity of Ukrainian nation is very recent. It is artificial and...
It does not matter. The identity of every nation is de facto artificial. The fuck? I love that argument. Hey, this is a fake country! All of them are. Genuinely, this is one of the most annoying... Okay, all of them are. Okay. He has such a typical bourgeois Russian pseudo-intelligentsia accent.
Recent, because
Brother, he said countries are made by humans, bro.
Ukraine never existed in history, and that was the...
Yeah, and also Russia never existed until it did. I don't know, Egypt, ancient Egypt didn't exist and then it did.
The path disputed between Russian Empire and Poland and Austria and the West in general. So that was the frontier.
Oh, holy shit, so a new country was created because of the interests of the different countries that existed around it and the interests of the domestic population that was there as well. Holy shit, sounds like every country ever of all time.
Frontier between two civilizations, and politically politically, Ukraine was liberated, first of all, from Turks, and that was Novorossiya or Eastern Ukraine. That was the territory that belonged to the Turks, to the Ottoman Empire. And
the lady asked, is the U.S. relevant in every conversation about international conflicts? And he was like, let me go back to...
Not to some imagined Ukrainian state. There was nothing of sorts in the history. So that was the fight.
By the way, did you know that Austria was basically scammed into existence? No, wow. It wasn't every country.
Between two empires, Russian Empire and Ottoman Empire, for some frontiers, for some border zones, and Russia has won the control over what we are calling now Novorossiya, from Kharkov. That was the part of the other ancient region to Odessa. That was the part of newly acquired or reacquired territories by Russian Empire from Turks. No Ukrainians were involved because they didn't exist in that situation. The western part of Ukraine was the same people, the same culture, the same religion, Orthodox, but the western part was, after the Mongols' invasion, under influence of Lithuania and Poland.
And they were more Catholic. Dodom. We have found a way to make a difference between two people that are basically the same. Yeah, that's how all nation states are built, my man. And the local financial elite of a particular place utilizes the cultural differences between two tribes in order to introduce the concept of them being a separate tribe to the other one, and then creating a particular state that can then serve their own interests while feeding people the idea of national belonging. Motherfucker.
Partly later of Austria. And having the same...
Really off topic, but I'm super fucking hyped right now. I have a job interview coming up for work with mental health nonprofits and developing young youth mental health projects to use my lived experience and studies to improve the mental health outcomes of young people. Wish me luck. Good luck. Good luck. That sounds pretty based.
Exactly the same.
Oh my God, it's like saying France is not a country because in the past France was not made into a country, or like saying Germany is not a country because back when it was a bunch of small lords ruling over the territories. Dog, I'm cooked. We are cooked. Absolutely. But like, I love taking this argument of that this is not a real country and like super extrapolating it on reactionaries, but generally on everybody, because I'm like, I will take your fake country and I will raise it. By how much? I will raise it by every single country that has ever existed. This fake concept, which for a very long time was a tool that helped us organize communities, grow, expand cultural expression, create supportive structures, etc., has become quite literally useless and de facto reactionary in most spots on the planet, and therefore should be removed from existence as a concept because it is all indeed fake.
Identity, roots identity as ourselves, as Russian from Muscovite Russian, Eastern Russian, they were under control of the Polish Catholic and Austrian as well Catholic.
France are just jumped up Norman dogs with delusions of Roman superiority. Jesus Christ, chat.
But they conserved, Ukrainians fought for their Orthodox identity under the rule of the Catholic Poland and Austria. So we could not regard them as the part of the Western Europe as well. Western Ukrainians belong to the same root, to the same tree.
Okay, dude, this is the class. Like, you can find any particular sociological, religious, or linguistic zone which differentiates two particular people that share relatively close lands. I'm overcomplicating this. The way you divide people, basically, be it on national terms or any other ones, is you say, look at these people that are extremely similar, but there is one thing that is different between them that we will now use to define those as different to us. But it's funny how they are always nitpicking the particular things that make that group over there different to us. And in this case, it's nitpicking, okay, they were mostly Catholic, we were Orthodox. But why can't we use the same thing as like, oh, these people live in a big city, they have urbanized culture, and these people live in villages, they don't have urbanized culture. Arguably a much more impactful cultural kind of dichotomy than one of two different Christian sects, right? And then use that argument to separate them as well. What if we say, oh, these people grew up in forests, we're like a culture based on surviving in forests, and the other one lived on open fields, and another one lived on high mountains, and another one lived on beaches. Let's separate all of them into different countries because of the different way of life that they have, because they lived in different, basically, flora and tundra, right? Reactionaries will always find one particular sociological and anthropological difference between two groups to explain away why they are older than the other group, why they are more just than the other group, etc., etc. But it's always nitpicking. They always pick one category. And when you get to nitpick and just, choose and let go, it is no longer a exercise of science. It's just like playing D&D, being like, the difference between the hobbits and the dwarves is because the dwarves believed in the ancient thunder gods and the hobbits believed in beer. They were atheists. That is why we as dwarves must go and crush the hobbits, for they do not believe in our thunder gods. But then there's a dwarf and like, but we fucking love beer. Hell, the hobbits taught us how to make beer. What the fuck? We're kind of very similar. The fuck you talking about? And they're like, no. Don't concentrate on the cultural and sociological aspects that make us one. Concentrate on the ones that actually differentiate us. That is the argument I give you now to take your son and put him in the army and send him to the front. I think you should make a video sometime on nations. I would. I want to write a book on radical internationalism. It's one of the main things that got me into Marxist thought, because I see it as a direct pathway to the eventual unironic unification of our planet and our species. I genuinely would like to coin a terminology that aspires to unironic, like human patriotism, of borderline like speciesist fervor, which is then utilized to completely crush any sort of quasi-scientific ideas of tribal division and separation, etc., etc. Obviously, under the principles of class consciousness and internationalism, it is very important to say internationalism, because I do not propose, for example, the destruction of individual cultures, ways of life, language, expression, or religion, etc., etc. But I want to absolutely abolish and crush every single institution, repeat, every single institution, including that of the nation state, from allowing itself to divide our species into small tribes that we now very proudly call states and countries and nations, etc., etc. Basically, literally a speciesist argument that I honestly don't see anybody really making. Humanism, yeah, but humanism doesn't address the nation state usually. At least the humanism you get to, I don't know, learn about in second year of uni. Finding hostile aliens could unironically unite all of humanity. Absolutely, it definitely could. Can you repeat that? The argument is our true loyalty, once you strip all social concepts away okay, is to our species, to the development, growth, and expansion of our species. And any system which impedes the eventual unification and spreading of our species is anti-human and therefore must be crushed, abolished, or recreated in order to serve the needs of our species. That's the pitch.
Free of our historical identity that for.
But of course, before we can talk about that, you know, nobody's ready for that conversation. We got to address class. You know, once we address class, we most likely will have other contradictions, and then eventually we will address the idea of the nation state as a concept, of borders as a concept, of different governments competing amongst each other for resources and influence, etc., etc. I asked you if you do a discussion on divide et impera. You said it was too easy. I said it because it seems to be the most common strategy used against us ever. It is. It really is. And sorry if I ever said it's too easy. I mean, it's not. Maybe you phrased it differently. Maybe I misunderstood it. But divide et impera is absolutely everything, from class to the nation state to to the treatment, how different genders treat each other, etc., etc. Racialization, everything.
Fought against the Polish and against Western Europe. The experience to live some centuries under control of Catholic European nations.
And this is why I always found all of these conversations is inherently like quasi-intellectual, because they obsess and lament over these, yes, beautiful, yes, interesting, yes, to an extent, even fascinating, but at the end of the day, very, very, very simple human social constructs of nation, of flag, of patriotism, it's confusing to me that they don't understand that it's basically, again, sorry for repeating myself, but like a D&D LARP. Like, we're just like LARPing. We're like, her, I'm a Croatian. Her, I'm a German. Her, I'm a Brazilian. Her, I am Russian, or I'm Kenyan. And then we're like, oh, now I'm going to dedicate my life to support this, like, socially manufactured identity, which I share with other people in this piece of land because we happen to be geographically close and somebody else isn't, and I'm supposed to dislike them for that, or I'm supposed to think that, you know, my country should do better than theirs because they're over there and I'm over here. It's mind-numbing to me that, like, you don't, after 20 minutes of lamenting on any sort of patriotism, you know, basically get over it, because it's so rudimentary. It's I find it funny how in fiction there are only capitalist dystopias and almost all utopias are communist. You can't even imagine a capitalist utopia. Absolutely.
That has made the impact, the influence over their identity. And in Lvov, Lemberg, in the most western city of the Western Ukraine.
Nationalism in oppressed nations can be a good rallying point. Absolutely. We look at history as a slow gradation and use of different ideological tools to bring forward greater reason, to be a Hegelian for a second, and greater definitions of reason, and more importantly, in order to defeat previous contradictions. So, for example, nationalism in countries that are imperialized, that live under the boot of colonialism, is using the nationalist idea to crush the contradiction of you working your ass off, but all of the resources going where? Somewhere abroad, because you're being colonized and because you're being a victim as a whole country of said imperialism. But afterwards, the contradictions of internal class dynamics, of internal social, racial, cultural dynamics need to be addressed, aka fucking racism, treatment of minorities of all types, etc., etc. And most importantly, the class dynamic. After that is addressed, there is going to be future contradictions that also need to be, and we will slowly be building something far superior than this, mega mall we call a society. That's the whole pitch. The meme, but I would love to expand it. I would love for my kids one day to live in a world in which class analysis is an inferior model, and it's like, okay, been there, done that, what the fuck, let's move on. That means we did our thing very well, and class is no longer such a massive concept.
That is regarded, is considered as a capital of all Western anti-Russian ideology. Until recent times, there were two parties, pro-Moscovite and and Russophobic parties coexisted. There is the complex history of identities inside of Ukraine, and the unique way to save the newly established national state of Ukraine was to take in consideration both identities, pro-Russian Eastern identity and more or less not so radically anti-Russian identity of the Western Ukraine, to make a balance.
Or maybe you do not need to necessarily make that balance inside of a smaller country such as Ukraine. You can concentrate on building an actual international project with which the Soviets were quite literally the first ones in the world to try and build, where even after their incredibly numerous mistakes, especially with certain reactionary opinions on particular ethnicities and correlation between ethnicity and types of behavior, that was still, the 20s, the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, the science wasn't there to disprove this shit yet, etc., etc., if you want to find an excuse on why it was done. But the idea was exactly that, for absolutely everybody to be able to both express their own personal way of life, but exist in a wider system which protects all of those individualities of these people, but unifies them towards a greater goal, instead of continuously returning to very cliche infighting, which is exactly what happened after the Soviet Union was dissolved, and that is why we have most of these post-Soviet conflicts. Thank you very much, Romka, for the 100 bits, obviously for other reasons as well. But according to Dugin, the socialist barbarous Bolsheviks were Russophobic Jewish occupiers and the spoilers of tradition. Exactly, yeah. He's love how he's making an argument here that Ukraine could have continued existing without any conflict if only it respected the opinions of all of the cultures that exist inside of Ukraine. Well, he is against the first revolutionary human experiment of actually bringing together hundreds of peoples under one umbrella and creating something that has not been done before. Speaking of something that has not been done before, here at YugopnikTwitch, we are genuinely attempting to create the first Twitch channel in which 0% of all active viewers actually watch ads. And for that reason, for every 10 gift subs, I give another 5. So if you like what I watch here, consider becoming a sub yourself or gifting some subbies to those less privileged than you, and I will give an additional 50% to every 10 gift subs and avoid the ad through that is going to play in the next 55 seconds. Thank you very, very much, Ka.
As Belgium, for example, with Valence and the Flemish people balancing each other with different linguistic identities, historical experience, and so on. So that was the chance, and they have lost. The Kiev regime has lost its chance, choosing only one identity, Western Ukraine, artificially created. Western Ukraine identity cleansed from pro-Moscovite Orthodox elements to.
Okay, so Ukraine deserves to be invaded because it hyper-focused on one identity and did not want to embrace all of them that existed on the territory. But also, if you listen to Dugin in other interviews, the Soviet Union is bad because it tried to equally represent all of these identities, and because of it, Russia suffered the most because it was paying the bill for everybody else, basically. It's quasi-intellectual mumbo jumbo that comes from an incredibly subjective perspective of one particular nation that he represents, which in this case is the Russian Federation. And this is not only something that can be applied to Russians. This is applied to every single intellectual that comes from the perspective of one particular nation. It is always going to be inherently subjective when you're playing fucking football and you're continuously choosing one side to look at things, one perspective to look at things from. Because if you do not, then you are not being a patriot. You're humanizing the enemy, and if we start humanizing the enemy, we might end up understanding that we're pretty much in the same shit and we're being exploited by the same fucking people. And we can't have that, of course. So let's refocus heavily on what this or that ethnic group has done to us, and not what this or that class category has done to us. It's simplistic, and it's weak, and it's anti-intellectual, and it's D&D. It's Dungeons and Dragons, but there's no dragons.
Liberated from this part of the deep Ukrainian identity and creating artificial pro-Western, pro-European Union, LGBT+, globalist, liberal identity. Artificial in order to fight.
He said all the words, chat. Did you hear all the words? Let's go back to the classics.
And creating artificial pro-Western, pro-European Union.
Western, pro-European Union.
LGBT+.
Plus, globalist, liberal.
Identity.
Where's my boy? Where's my InfoWars boy?
In order to fight against Eastern Ukraine and Russia. So in that sense, regional dimension of Ukrainian conflict, we could not discard. We could not forget. It exists, and it existed historically, because that was the history of the fight between the Great Russia, Moscow, against.
Yeah, it existed, and it was. And there was a group of people that were like, we're going to address that. And they were like, if we continuously concentrate on the aspects which divide us and on the historical, hey, you did this you did this bad thing against my country 50 years ago. Yeah, but I did it because you did this bad thing against my country 60 years ago. Oh, but we only did that because you did a bad thing against our country 70 years ago. There was one group of people that understood that is a snake eating its own ass. And they were like, no, we will create a class-oriented international society where we quite literally get rid of all of that historical baggage and start something new. I don't know what those guys were called. I don't remember particularly.
Against the West, the Western Europe. And the Ukraine was the frontier, the battlefield in the time of Peter the Great, before in the time of Alexis Romanov. That was the battlefield until the Stalin's time, when the Western Ukraine was annexed to the Soviet Union. So that was the eternal battlefield of Russia to expand our border to the West, or to diminish our influence in that orientations. That regional dimension really exists, but it doesn't explain everything, because when we consider the place of Ukrainian conflict on the geopolitical scale, on the global scale of the confrontation between unipolarity defended by globalists, not realists in USA, and emerging multipolar world order, where Russia pretends to be sovereign pole, as well as China and other poles. So that, I think, regional aspect is the secondary, comparing with these global geopolitical level.
2 quick points.
Do I really need to even say anything about? I'm not even. This is. Everything I said before, just repeated.
One, Zhao Li, you pointed out that the United States is this awesomely powerful country, which I think is true. But it's very important to understand that we no longer live in a unipolar world, that we do live in a multipolar world. There are three
I'm not as optimistic as you, bruv, but
great powers in the system. And although the United States is the most powerful state among those three great powers, I think the United States is the most powerful, China is the second most powerful, and Russia is the third most powerful. The fact is, the world today is fundamentally different than it was, say, in the 1990s when we were in unipolarity. And I think the Americans have had a very difficult time coming to grips with the fact that we're no longer in unipolarity.
Yes, and they're going to have a worse and worse time coming to grips with it, and that is how we expand the currently expanding Cold War into something that can potentially, even though it's difficult for me to understand, could be very bad. When a particular structure which has particular interests can no longer satisfy those interests because, you know, the chess pieces are starting to move, it will eventually say, okay, fuck playing chess, and we'll throw the whole thing out of the fucking window.
Polarity. A lot of American leaders want to act as if it's still a unipolar world, and it's not. And the United States has to be much more careful because it's dealing with two other great powers, both Russia and China. Second point I would make has to do with Ukraine. I think, as Professor Dugin said, there are all these sort of heterogeneous forces at play inside Ukraine that were there independent of
Yugoslavia mentioned, absolutno, brate moj. Plavi.
NATO expansion or Western policy. I've always thought, since the Soviet Union broke apart and Ukraine was created, that there was the potential for civil war. I'm not saying it was going to happen, period. But in the early 1990s, I thought there was a serious chance that what happened in the Balkans might happen inside of Ukraine. But the key point here is...
But that's the meme. That's the meme, Mersheimer. It happened now. It just took a while longer, but it happened now. That's the Russo-Ukrainian war. The only reason we're not calling it a civil war is because somebody at some point said, oh, Russia is a thing and Ukraine is a thing.
That NATO expansion, EU expansion, and the color revolutions, those three policies in tandem basically helped exacerbate and make worse all of those tensions inside of Ukraine. And that's why the situation blew up in 2014. You want to remember, there was no serious trouble. There was no fighting inside of Ukraine until 2014. And what happened in 2014 was in good part a consequence of Western policy. There was a coup inside of Ukraine that the United States played a key role in making happen.
That is true, but saying that, but not saying that there was no heavy influence of the Ukrainian party in control at that time by the Russians is also just intellectually disingenuous. You know, both things can exist at the same time.
Interested in doing social engineering inside of Ukraine. This is what the Orange Revolution was all about. We wanted to bring Ukraine not only into NATO, we wanted to bring it into the EU. And what this did was it took all those
But this like completely removes the what the Ukrainian people wanted as well.
Heterogeneous forces that were at play already inside of Ukraine. It exacerbated them, and the situation blew up, number one, inside Ukraine, and number two, between Russia and Ukraine, and between Russia and the West. And here we are today.
I mean, the same argument could be made. I hate making arguments against West, like for Western imperialism, which is, you know, just let me turn into a liberal for 2 seconds. But there would not have been enough fire to rile up Ukrainians, especially Ukrainians in Kyiv, against the government if Russia wasn't overextending its own influence on the government in the country. They allowed for the material conditions to fester on the ground for an Orange Revolution. right? If there was absolutely no influence by Russia on the Ukrainian government at the time, which there absolutely was, then there would be no fucking. I mean, there would be still a way. I mean, we saw the Arab Spring to an extent in a lot of countries, but there would have been a much lower likelihood of the success of an Orange Revolution. You need to, they say you need two players to tango, and in the case of non-class conscious revolutions, you need two idiots to fuck up things a lot at the same time in order to tango through fire, death, and ethnic conflict.
I'm going to switch gear a little bit to bring China into the fold, since both of you mentioned it also, that since Trump's re-election, there's been quite a bit of speculation about how the US is now going to realign its foreign policy, and it is about to drive a wedge between the emergent alliance between Russia and China. How likely, question to both of you, how likely do you see that happening?
I'll answer that very quickly. I think it's clearly in America's interest, speaking as a strategist, for the United States to be allied with Russia. And that way, the United States can concentrate on containing China. And as you know,
that's the Tucker Carlson argument. Yeah, that's the Tucker Carlson classic argument. And from a perspective of an American nationalist or whatever the fuck, it would be the correct perspective. If you're a reactionary American supremacist, that's a decent perspective. But it also is a little bit colored in, correct me if I'm wrong, but racism, because why not ally yourself with China? And if it's not racism, the argument is because they are the second biggest economy and we do not want them to become the first biggest economy. So we need to utilize the Russians to directly or indirectly, economically, or even physically fight the Chinese so they do not become the second biggest economy. But then wouldn't the argument be, but then you would be helping out Russia potentially become the second biggest economy, and then Russia would take a step towards the throne? Like, it's... as Santa Claus from Germany once said, too many contradictions to properly address through these reactionary methods.
So I've long argued that the United States should try to prevent China from dominating Asia, from becoming a regional hegemon. And I think it makes no strategic sense for the United States.
Leftists watch these guys. Read my fucking title, brother. Read my title.
To drive the Russians into the arms of the Chinese, which of course we have done with our foolish policies. So your question is it likely that we will change our policy and that we will end up having good relations with Russia and, in a sense, separating the Russians from the Chinese? I think there is hardly any chance that that's going to happen, because I think, as we were discussing before, there's hardly any chance that relations between the United...
We're chud watching, chat. We're chud watching. It's called when you find chuds and then you watch them and you listen to their arguments and then you either reply to them or you point and you laugh.
United States and Russia are going to change anytime soon. And in fact, I believe, sadly, that the United States and Russia are going to be bitter enemies for the foreseeable future. And the end result of that is the United States is going to continue to try to damage Russia, to hurt Russia. And as a consequence of that, the Russians will have very close relations with the Chinese, because the Americans have their gun sights on China as well. You have this situation where the United States has its gun sights on both Russia and China. And unsurprisingly, Russia and China have become, I think it's fair to say, close allies. Maybe not formal allies, but close allies.
There's game awards going on. Russia has no chance of global power with the current demographic problems and general economic ossification, reliance on imports. Russia isn't the third power in the world, maybe the sixth. Depends because of their military arsenal, especially their nuclear military arsenal. One could make an argument that they're the third, but that's just, that's trying to play video games. I meant unironically. I don't know nobody unironically. Maybe Mersheimer, he has decent takes from time to time. Okay, this was fun for 2 seconds. Now they'll just repeat the same stuff. So yeah, next. Thank you very much. Let's find another chud, my beautiful chat. Another chud.
Very
Another
much.
chud. Oh my God. Jump scare. Matt Walsh jump scare chat. Matt Walsh jump scare. No, not the jump scare. Not the jump scare. No, not the jump scare. Okay. So do we watch? We watched the hot sister haver. Okay, we watched the hot sister haver talk about. Ew, killing CEOs is bad. Ew, it's so bad. Look at this one. Look at this one. Guess what he's going to be talking about? Guess what he's going to be talking about? Guess what he's going to be talking about? What in the fuck, chat? What in the fuck? What in the... Siamo assolutamente live dal paradiso. They're talking about Luigi. They're arguing about Luigi up there in the heaven. Oh, mamma mia, Luigi. Oh, mamma mia. Very good. Okay. Matt Walsh. He's going to be like, CEO killed bad. And then the argument is going to be like, you don't get to support that because the leftists support that. And you are not a leftist, so you cannot support that. Ha, here's a video of a trans person saying they support them. You cannot support the same thing as a trans person. Ha, touche, liberals. You have been crushed in the market.
Today, the Matt Walsh Show, the left
Oh, shut the fuck up. You're too loud. God fucking damn it, dude.
Celebrates the murder of a healthcare CEO, but why exactly are they celebrating? Many people are missing
What
the point of the
murder?
story, I think. I'll tell you what's really going on. Plus, the father of Jordan Neely tries to cash in on his son's death by suing Daniel Penny, but Daniel Penny should be the one suing Jordan Neely's father. I'll explain. And the left comes up with its most desperate smear against Pete Hegseth yet. We'll talk about all that and more today on The Matt Walsh Show.
That's such a patriotic introduction, brother. Look at that bingo bongo bongo playing in the background.
Time is running out. Daily Wire Plus is 50% off, but not for much longer. Get a full year of uncensored shows, exclusive series, documentaries, and more, all at half the price. Head to Daily Wire holiday put season hits. And if you're a homeowner, they're saving homeowners just like you an average of even be.
Jesus, minute 20 seconds, you're dropping me ads, bro. Unethical reacts, bro.
There was an outpouring. After the attempted assassination of Donald Trump in Butler, there was an outpouring of very...
Okay, so for those of you joining us a bit late in today's stream, we watched 2 videos by Ben Shapiro, and there is instead of just like rage baiting and like pointing and laughing at these people, there was an actual reason why we're doing that. We're trying to pinpoint the, let's call it... We're trying to pinpoint the type of spin that rightoids are trying to give this particular situation, and they're very confused on what to do because the majority of Americans are like, holy shit, that was based. I hate private healthcare providers, and more importantly, that particular event is starting to make people understand that, holy shit, these guys that are talking heads on YouTube are basically the same as the talking heads in corporate media. They just support the rights of the super wealthy and super privileged, and they do not care about us everyday working people. That is number one. And the number 2 thing that they're now fully getting to know and getting to understand is that ethics, morality, and laws apply differently to different people. So if you are a CEO, you get to kill thousands and get away with it. And hell, Ben Shapiro will even scream at the top of his lungs about how you did nothing wrong. But if you are somebody that has been harmed by that system and you take quote-unquote justice into your own hands and then you harm them, then it is absolutely a very big no-no. All of these things are stepping stones towards more sophisticated class consciousness, and these guys do not know how to react to that. So it's fascinating to see the PR twist that they're going to utilize. And when we watched the 2 Ben Shapiro videos, what we noticed is that the direction, the spin, the rhetoric that they're using is a very classic divide and conquer, where they're basically painting every single person who is supporting the assassin or who is questioning whether private healthcare insurance should be the way that, you know, Americans treat their healthcare, quote-unquote, industry. They're trying to paint them all as insane communists, and you're not a communist, so you should not support the same thing that communists support. That's basically the whole pitch. It's very simplistic, but then again, you know, they don't really have any other options, in my modest opinion. So let's see the cope and maybe the scope.
Primal and vicious rage from all corners of the left, both on social media and in the mainstream corporate outlets. And for the first time in American history, the near assassination of a president didn't bring about a period of national mourning or condemnations from Hollywood and academia. Instead, the overwhelming sentiment was, in effect, that Donald Trump had it coming. It continued even after...
Oh my God, his pitch is going to be even better. His pitch is literally going to be the left wants to kill people they disagree with. That's a better pitch. Fuck, that's a better pitch. That is a better pitch. Okay, that's not a bad pitch. That is not... Oh, fuck. Oh, okay. Matt Walsh's writers are a bit smarter. I can already see where this is going. The left wants to kill people they disagree with. That's going to be the thing. And then the pitch is going to be like, they're eventually like, now you're letting them kill a CEO, but eventually they'll come and kill you. Eventually they're coming for you. Matt's writers, because none of these fucking ghouls write any of their shit. Matt's writers officially much smarter than Ben's writers. Fuck yeah. I mean, no, horrible, blah, blah, blah. But I have a kind of cannibalistic borderline fascination with how reactionaries like spin shit.
The second assassination attempt on Trump, which led the New York Times to explain that Trump was blameworthy because he had stirred anger among the public. And many other publications, of course, had the same basic take. Now, obviously blaming Trump for his own attempted assassination was always demented, but we were supposed to believe that it was acceptable to blame Trump, at least in part, because he's such a polarizing figure. The left insisted they aren't always this bloodthirsty. They said that they didn't want to see every single one of their enemies get murdered in public, live on national television. Instead, they said they just wanted to see Donald Trump get murdered in public because he's basically Hitler, and Hitler is a special case. Once Hitler's out of the way, they said, then they'd return to being normal, functioning citizens who don't want to murder their enemies in cold blood all the time. Now, this is a defense that was never believable, but after the murder of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson in Manhattan this week, even the left is completely abandoning the whole pretense. If anything, the left seems to be gloating over the execution of Thompson even more than the Trump assassination attempt. It's not an exaggeration to say that, we've never seen anything quite like this. They are declaring without any hint of reservation that it's open season on anyone they don't like. They are gleefully celebrating the horrific demise of another human being. Whether you're a politician or a business executive, it doesn't matter. They don't want you fired. They don't want you in prison. They want you dead. And they're being very clear about it now. Former Washington...
Did I guess it or did I guess it? Did I guess it or did I guess it? They just want to kill you. Absolutely sick. Absolutely sick. Okay. Ugh. What are we drinking today? Chivas 12 years. Kind of shit. I kind of don't like it. But I felt like whiskey. And I don't have any other whiskey at home. It's kind of bullshit, but whatever. Cheers. It's an early Friday here. I haven't drank anything this whole fucking week. And we're chud watching. And it's always Friday on YugopnikTwitch. Haha, I said the thing. Indeed. Okay, anyways. Look. Very good, very nice.
Post journalist Taylor Lorenz couldn't have been any more explicit about this. She posted an article on her newsletter entitled, "Yes, we want insurance executives dead." She also posted an image.
And if they start with insurance executives, one day they shall come to your cul-de-sac and they will stab people in the mall. They will stab your daughter in the mall. They will stab your wife in the mall. They will stab your son in the mall. Who am I quoting, chat? Who am I quoting? Who am I quoting? Who am I quoting? Who am I quoting?
Paradigm of absolute control. That's why we're just out here doing simple things.
They literally crawl out from under us. They have green looking skin and they run around screaming, we look Satan, we wanna eat babies.
Cheers, chat, I love
Have
you.
them on video.
Hillary's in the creepy, weird, sick stuff, man. She sleeps in the same room with that creepy, weird woman whose mother wears a hood over her head. That woman number one is ugly. Imagine how bad she smells, man. I'm told her and Obama just stink. Obama and Hillary both smell like sulfur.
Literal vampire pot belly goblins are hobbling round coming after us. My spirit gets close to that evil and I feel it go.
We're such self-centered crap. We don't even notice hell itself rising up against us. Millions upon it, people of the very worst type, and I'm so pissed. We're gonna stab your daughter.
This was the part I was waiting for, okay? First, they'll kill the CEOs, and then what they're gonna do, chat? That's gonna be the spin by the right wing. Then they're gonna do this.
I'm so pissed. We're gonna stab your daughter at the mall. We're gonna stab your wife, your son. We're gonna stab you with a butcher knife, and then the police chief
With a
is
machete.
gonna say, we love our Somalis, we love our Muslims. Oh, they're so good. Oh, they're so sweet.
What a classic. What a classic.
I was watching Fox News as I worked out this morning.
U.S. judge rejects the Onion's purchase of Alex Jones Infowar. Fuck you. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. Okay, I'm triggered. I'm officially triggered. This timeline was winning for like 2 weeks, and now it has to get fucked. Onion CEO expresses disappointment in judge's decision, but satirical website remains interested in purchasing Infowars. A federal judge in the United States has rejected satirical website The Onion's purchase of right-wing conspiracy theorist Alex Jones's Infowars, ruling that a bankruptcy auction did not result in the best possible bids. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. That is stupid. That is stupid. In a decision late on Tuesday, U.S. bankruptcy judge Lopez rejected Jones's claims that the auction was plagued by collusion. Man, the guy got so cucked, he did a countersuit that he doesn't want to settle it to them. He was like, I might be bankrupt and everything I own will need to be sold to someone, but please don't sell them to these guys. It's going to be too funny. It's going to be too funny, bro. Oh no, not Alex Jones. Not Alex Jones.
Of party balloons with the celebratory caption, CEO down. And she wrote,
wasn't there a song? What is this? Isn't this the Israeli chick? Ah, get the fuck out of my feed, bruv. They downed it. They downed it.
Wrote that while people should murder these executives, it's normal to wish death upon them. Now, separately, in response to a news article about how Blue Cross Blue Shield recently announced that it won't pay for anesthesia past a certain point, Lorenz wrote, quote, and people wonder why we want these executives dead. She also posted the
Dude, so out of touch. So absolutely incredibly out of touch. And the like to dislike ratio really fucking shows it. Like, stop shooting yourself in the foot. Be like the internet comment section lady, Ben Shapiro's fem side. Just don't post about this. If you're smart, if you know what you're doing, just don't post about it.
Name and picture of the CEO.
They're literally quoting like based quotes from people. They're like, this evil communist said something that you will definitely agree with. And people are like, wait, there's based communists?
Blue Cross Blue Shield, effectively suggesting that someone should assassinate her.
First, oh, this is beautiful. Oh, fuck yeah, Mike. Oh, fuck yeah, Mike. Oh, God. Oh, God. One of classic Yugopnik moments. Thank you so much, Mig Mag Mog, for the gift, for the sub. Thank you very much. For every 10 gift subs, I give another 5 gift subs. So oil me, baby, so I can rub on Matt Walsh's fucking argument so fucking hard, baby, yeah. And for every 10 oils, I will gift another 5 from myself. But wait, classic villain music. Okay. Let's read this commenter's fucking epic comment. Classical villain. First they came for the CEOs, and I did not speak out because I was not a CEO. Then they came for the senators, and I did not speak out because I was not a senator. Then they came for the middle class, and I did not speak out because I was not part of it. Then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak for me. Shit! That was beautiful. Thank you so much, Cryonic Leech, baby, and Jokula. Šta se radi, piška ti materna. Thank you very much, Cryonic Leech, for the 5 gift subs, baby. Let's fucking go! Mwah. Where else do you get such cinema? It's not even kino, it's not cinema, it's cinema.
I mean, there's really no other way to interpret it. This is the same woman who says you're a psychopath if you go outside without a mask and raw dog the air, quote unquote.
Yeah, the quote is by a cop. That's funny. White wizard. That was good.
But wishing death on healthcare executives is, completely fine, completely normal stuff. Now, I could spend the next month going through all the reactions like this from the left. It's been relentless. Suffice it to say, this kind of response was not unusual. It's very much par for the course. For example, Columbia University professor Anthony Zenkis, who apparently specializes in the field of social work, wrote, quote, "Today we mourn the death of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson, gunned down." Today we mourn the death.
Why are they L-posting? Why are they L-posting? It is so fucking good. So fucking good. Dude, they are platforming great arguments against their whole fucking shtick. And they're just like, hey, massive audience of centrists and right-wingers, look at this very good joke. Look at this hilarious fucking joke that will make you stop thinking that leftists are cringe soy boys. It is fucking awesome, bro. Thank you so much, Comrade Matt Walsh and Comrade Ben Shapiro. I salute you, brother. Fuck, it's so good.
Deaths of 68,000 Americans who needlessly die each year so that insurance company execs like Brian Thompson can become multimillionaires. Then there was this response from somebody named Angie, who said that the murder of the CEO had made her feel reinvigorated.
I don't know about y'all, but today I feel so reinvigorated. Class consciousness.
Wrong glass, lol.
Is on the rise today. I haven't had hope like this in a long time. Here's the thing. They are so good at keeping us divided because people who are divided are easier to control. So they manufacture all these differences between us to make us hate each other and fight with each other so that we don't realize our collective fight is actually against the elite.
Okay, no, now I'm genuinely getting freaked out at this point. I'm getting unironic. I'm getting freaked out. What the fuck is going on, chat? What is going on? Why are they unironically posting very well structured, argumentative talking points that will increase the audience's class consciousness here on the Daily Wire. Why are they... Who thought this was a good idea? Why are you doing this? Is there nobody on the team that was like, guys, stop posting this? It's making them sound rational, on point, smart. It's humanizing leftists from the perspective of centrists and rightoids. Like, why the fuck? Vafangul, блядь. Vafangul, блядь, suka. This is incredible. Why are they, answer me, is it because they're stupid? Because they're like so far up their own ass in their own bubble that they're like, there's no way somebody can watch this lovely lady make absolutely fucking well-adjusted, decent points.
Leads that it's a class war that we're actually in the midst of, the working class against the elite.
Why are you letting... No, I tend to sometimes, play the fucking circus animal and, hype shit up because, 50% of what I do is entertainment to an extent, even though I do it very badly. But this I'm not playing up. Dude, I'm genuinely fucking mind blown how much they're shooting themselves in the leg. They're like shooting in one leg, then they're like, they got so many fucking 9mm fucking bullets like covering their whole leg that the leg is slowly falling off. It's incredible.
Based off all the videos I'm seeing, based off the
I guess they made such outrageous points that people just swallowed up that they were overconfident about their base eating the sub too. Yeah, that is a very good point. Illy kitty, that is not a bad point.
comment sections, based off the general consensus as a united front.
I don't think they're capable of understanding how the average human thinks. Maybe, but there I disagree. Reactionaries are experts in exactly that, in managing to take a very real problem that people are experiencing and then giving them an unhinged answer so that they don't come to more rational explanations, which is, the system fucking us all.
We all feel the same. We all feel the same, and we're all agreeing. Do you know how hard it is to get the American people to come together and agree on something? God, imagine if we put our powers together to actually fight against our real enemy. I have hope today. Maybe it's naive, but I have hope.
So these people are...
Thank you for making a very good pro-communist argument and posting it on your platform, Matt Walsh. I love you.
Euphoric over the murder of a man with a family, supposedly because they're not happy with his company's insurance coverage, even though most of these people know absolutely nothing about it. They hadn't even heard of the company until this happened. But they've been told by other people on TikTok that they should be happy the guy's...
Okay, let's check it out. Let's check it out, chap. First comment. My mom's friend has been battling leukemia for years, and every month she has to fight with her insurance to cover her life-saving medication. She's lost everything because of this cancer. She went from being a homeowner to living in a Section 8 apartment. Her medical debt is going to kill her faster than the cancer. It's not left or right to say that America deserves a better health system. Matt isn't out of touch. He's purposefully dividing us so his team can laugh all the way to the bank. We are Rip Bozo in the entire centrist and center-right audience of the Daily Wire. And we're looking at it in 4K, 3D, 4D, 5D, live. Okay? That's what this is. Long-time Daily Wire watcher here. The bizarre insistence that this is just the left celebrating the CEO getting clipped makes me think one of two things about you, Matt. You are brutally out of touch, or you're mostly just a mouthpiece for corporate interests of the Daily Wire that requires tribalization and fighting between everyday normal people. live for this. I live for this. I live for this. We aren't left wing for hating a guy whose bread and butter was literally other people's suffering, Matt. I'm not saying you or anyone should be cheering on his death, but you're definitely out of touch with regular people when it comes to the issue of health insurance. Okay, this one's a bit still out of whack, but okay. The fact that Matt is trying to paint this as a left-wing issue when there's clearly bipartisan celebration going on just goes to show how out of touch celebrities are. This guy's a fucking idiot, whether on the right or left with regular, everyday, ordinary people. But they're starting to realize, you know? Nope, you're wrong about this one. Everyone should be mad about our healthcare system. If you watch this and don't realize that Walsh's whole purpose is to divide the poor middle class for the interests of the rich, then I don't know what to tell you. Thank you so much, Gothic Bitchcraft. What a name, what a life. 8 months of brain rot so bad my psychologist upped my doses. I'm so sorry. But if any of you want a perfect excuse for your psychiatrist to up your dosage of your favorite drugs, do consider becoming a subscriber of YugopnikTwitch and avoiding the ad that is going to play in exactly 2 minutes and 45 seconds, or gift to those less privileged than you, and for every 10 gift subs, I gift another 5. We're already 5 away from another 5 being gifted by me. So yes, 5 gift subs equals 10 gift subs for a very limited time. This Christmas only, Black Friday, dropping bass.
Is dead, and so they are. Because on top of being sociopaths, they are just brainless sheep.
But yeah, ad plays in 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Thank you very much.
But now, like Taylor Lorenz, they're turning their attention and their threats towards other CEOs. And it appears to be working. Within hours of the online campaign to harass and threaten the CEO of Blue Cross Blue Shield, the company announced a reverse.
Oh, who will think of the CEOs being harassed? Who will think of them?
Of its planned policy on anesthesia coverage. They now say they're going to halt their proposed limits.
The right literally got one guy. They also just got one guy. They only have one guy. Thank you very much, Pizza Famine, for those 5 beautiful gift subs, baby. And I will help you out because there is mutual aid on Yugopnik Twitch. And by mutual aid, I mean I throw my money at you so you don't have to watch ads. Thank you very much, Pizza Famine. You are lovely.
A new child
as always.
Soldier.
That is the 50th gift sub. Very kind of you.
It's on coverage for anesthesia during surgery. The company put out a statement reading, quote, "There's been a significant widespread misinformation about an update to our..."
This freak living in my city makes me want to... Yeah, don't say it out loud.
Anesthesia policy. As a result, we've decided to not proceed with this policy change. To be clear, it never was and never will be the policy of Anthem, Blue Cross Blue Shield to not pay for medically necessary anesthesia services. The proposed update to the policy was only designed to clarify the appropriateness of anesthesia consistent with well-established clinical guidelines. Now, on the surface, this looks like a victory for the assassin and its supporters. The assassin kills one insurance company CEO. The next day, an insurance company rescinds its plan to limit coverage. It's the kind of thing that seems like a major victory if you have no idea how the health insurance industry actually works.
Okay, tell us, Matt, how does it actually work, Matt? Please. Come on, chat. Are we ready to listen? Are we ready to learn? Are we ready to get our minds blown?
Catch is that as a result of this reversal, anesthesiologists no longer have any incentive to stop overbilling, which has been a major problem in their field in recent...
That is the problem with American healthcare is actually overbilling. We need private for-profit companies to make sure doctors don't overbill the government so that money doesn't actually go back to the government, can be used for other stuff, but actually remains in the private insurance company who previously received money from the government to adequately distribute to the wider population. Let them overbill, brother. Let them overbill. Isn't that you fucking, it gets more fucking money.
Subscriber.
Isn't that's my fucking taxpayer money. That's my money as a client of the health insurance company.
In years, Blue Cross Blue Shield, along
chat, we need to really think about overbilling. That is the big problem in America today.
With other insurance companies, was trying
clearly. Yes, Yana Gibashi, long time no see, motherfucker. What's up? You've been driving that Ferrari too much? Very nice to see you again. Clearly, the solution here is to privatize the IRS. Absolutely.
Force anesthesiologists to accept the standard per procedure Medicare rate for their services. Anesthesiologists hated that idea because they'd prefer to keep charging high rates for hours that they weren't even working. And now, because of a harassment campaign by left-wing activists in the wake of a CEO's murder, these anesthesiologists have won. In other words,
those goddamn doctors gonna be paid. God fucking damn it. The assassination of a great patriot and CEO will now lead to goddamn doctors billing. You can't make this up. That's how out of touch these people are.
The same people who complain that healthcare costs are too high.
Sorry, I've been sleeping in the morning. No, sleep, my love. Don't worry. I'm just fucking with you.
Might have just made it a lot easier for anesthesiologists
the
to
actual guy administering the meds is the one charging and not the hospital itself. No, you don't know. It's him. But even if it's not him, if it's the hospital, it's the hospitals that are the problem. People dying and not getting coverage for very real sicknesses and medical problems that they might be experiencing. That's caused by doctors in hospitals. Don't you know that? Not by a whole private industry whose entire profit motive rests upon limiting people's access to actual medical procedures and pharmaceuticals. They fund the hospitals. Do you? What was the Korean thing? Juche Geo Juche. What was it?
Back up healthcare costs even further.
Cheers, chat.
It's a development that underscores the complexity of the situation. You know, there are plenty of nuances that are lost when you're reenacting the French Revolution and murdering people in the street instead of discussing complicated issues like reasonable people are supposed to do in this democracy.
And yet the French Revolution, after many mistakes and many redos, led to the very system you love so much, Matt. Capitalism.
See that the left told us.
Juju got you diet. Thank you, pandas. I love you.
This was so important. Now, to be clear, there's certainly evidence that companies like United Healthcare are becoming much more aggressive in denying
Let me hear you. Juju got you diet. Juju got you diet. Juju got you diet. That is what Matt thinks we should all serve. The Juju, the Gachi, and the Jeongdae. Thank you very much. Arab Pop-Tart, you beautiful motherfucker, for the 5 months. Hugo, I see too many people saying hospitals should be a business. How does one respond to such thinking? You look them in the eye and you tell them, you're a fucking idiot. That's how. No jokes aside. This is the type of like conversation that warrants you not arguing. You saying, are you a fucking cretin? That's the only thing you need to say. It's on the same level of somebody being like, you're Arab Pop-Tarts, you're an Arab. Somebody telling you, oh, you're an Arab, that means that you are more likely to be a terrorist. Do you argue with that person? No, you tell them they're a stupid fuck and you leave the table. Same with the argument about hospital privatization, okay?
Kinds of claims. A Senate report from this year, for example, found that, quote, in 2019, United Healthcare issued an initial denial to 8.7% of the post-acute care prior authorization requests.
And thank you for the sub.
Received. By 2022, it denied 22.7% of all such requests, an increase of 172%. Its 2022 denial rate.
What's up? We're doing good. We're doing good. We're laughing at Chuds. It's a classic Chud Thursday. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
For skilled nursing facilities was 9 times higher than it was 3 years before. The Democrat-led Senate committee concluded that Medicare Advantage insurers are intentionally targeting a costly but critical area of medicine, substituting judgment about medical necessity with a calculation about financial gain. Now, what the report doesn't mention is that United Healthcare has profit margins of around 6%. After tax, it's really under 4%. And that means that as a matter of basic finance, they're not driving.
Because United Healthcare, the number one, that is already too much. That shouldn't exist. Number two, United Healthcare is a part of a conglomerate, which is the United Healthcare conglomerate, which owns like 100 different corporations and is the 11th highest revenue grossing company on planet Earth. Conglomerate. Okay, sorry. It's a different word. Oh, Lord. Basically, what I'm telling you, Matt, you fucking idiot, is that they make the majority of the money through one of their other corporate entities, not necessarily United Healthcare itself. But okay.
Driving up profits to some ridiculous degree. Like any business, they have a lot of operating costs, they assume risks. If they started approving every claim, they go out.
Matt Walsh never heard of Visa, which makes only a 2% margin. Yeah, isn't that epic? Oh, I only have a 2% margin. How much is that? Around 30% of the whole world economy? But it's only 2% profit margin based on like the amount of money we actually process. You know, health insurance, private health insurance companies like processing like $2 trillion and making 6% out of that. And they're like, oh my God, they make no money.
Business overnight, of course.
They make no money.
The other important element here that Democrats overlook for obvious reasons is that Democrats are...
Dude, I hate them. Okay, I broke both hips when I was 20, and I'm 23, and I still haven't gotten surgery to fix it. That's fucked. And now I need my my right one replaced before I'm 30, and the VA constantly denies my specialist visits because I'm too young. I'm not even kidding. It's fucking awful. Like someone who isn't even a doctor sees my age and goes, nah. That's the eternal meme of fucking private health insurance. It's, hey, we've dedicated a whole percentage of our species that is currently alive to one specific profession where they have to go and spend like 10 years of their life just to learn it. And in capitalism, of course, they also need to like get in debt that they won't be able to pay off for 20 years. Those people are called doctors and nurses, okay? We created a whole fucking institution that are basically the mechanics of the organic vehicle that we get to drive until it starts combusting on itself, and then we die and we no longer exist, or go to some other plane if you believe in that stuff. Hey, what about if we also create a middleman in between those two? An ancient profession that has, at this point, through the utilization of science and the meticulous experimentation, managed to save billions of people. Let's not ask them if they should be able to operate on you or prescribe you a particular medication. No, let's ask a third party of, again, poor outsourced people somewhere in fucking Sri Lanka that have KPIs that dictate that they need to minimize the number of health insurance claims that are confirmed this month by 30%. While they also themselves not really knowing that is directly contributing to the death of thousands. Just like very rational system to have. Hey, society, how about you create doctors to heal people? Great. But did you ask me for consent? United Healthcare pops its head out.
Are the ones who implemented coverage mandates, which inevitably raised the price of insurance for...
Thank you very much, Era Pop-Tart, for the gift sub. We're 9 gift subs away from me donating another 5. Yes, 9 gift subs is 14 gift subs because, I don't know, we do mutual aid or some shit here. 60% of all bankruptcy in this country is medical debt. Just 60%. Dude, if it was 3, it would be insane. If it was 3%, it would be insane.
Everybody. We saw that immediately after Obamacare, which was supposedly to lower everyone's premiums. In reality, it increased them dramatically. Now, the point I'm making here is not that United Healthcare is blameless or that the insurance industry in general shouldn't be criticized.
But the communists just want to shoot. They just want to shoot who they don't like. And you shouldn't be like them because being communist isn't based.
Or that the CEO that was just killed is some kind of saint. I have no idea what kind of guy he is. I mean, he could be the very face of evil, or he could be a decent guy, or he could be somewhere in between. I have no clue.
No, he cannot be a decent guy as the chief executive officer of a company whose entire business model is predicated on the socialized murder of thousands of people.
What I'm saying is that there are no open and shut, clear-cut solutions to this problem. Any kind of solution requires real debate and discussion. And trade-offs, okay? And murdering executives in the street is not the way to bring that about. I mean, what do you know? Okay.
Turns out, murdering an executive in the street has brought the conversation about free healthcare back into the limelight of American political debate, more than anyone else in the last half a decade, at least under Biden's term. So I guess it works, Matt. I don't know. I guess it works. But what do I know? What do I know?
When you've got a really complicated issue like healthcare costs.
Hugo, please pay my student loan debt with all your sub money. I would love to, my love. I would love to. Don't got enough yet.
You're not going to solve that by just killing somebody. Okay? It will not make anything better.
I mean, clearly Matt is objectively wrong because a CEO got shot in the street and things are changing. Yeah, that's exactly what I meant, Comrade Internet. Exactly what I meant. Brothers, dude wants to take rights away from people such as myself. Of course, he is sticking up for the CEO. Yeah. Of course, Matt doesn't believe that it is a complicated conversation that, should involve all parties involved when it comes to trans rights or gay rights or black liberation movements or anti-police movements. Then all of a sudden it's very black and white. When a guy kills a homeless guy out of self-defense or not, honestly not that involved in the case, in the subway, then it's very black and white. Isn't it? But when it's a CEO, you make 56-minute videos about how it's a very bad thing and it shouldn't be done. And we now need to have a conversation. Okay? We need to have a conversation.
Not a single thing will be made better. And that should make you wonder why exactly the left is so supportive of Brian Thompson's murder. If they don't actually care about fixing the health insurance industry, which they don't.
Okay, source, bro. We don't. We just want to kill people. No. The left, also known as Al Qaeda. No. You know how people sometimes just want to kill people? The entire left is basically Jeffrey Dahmer. No. Oh, God.
Then what do they care about?
Killing people. Say it, come on.
It'd be one thing if these left-wing activists had the view that sometimes when things get bad enough, an assassin needs to step up and take someone out for the good of the community. Now, I'm not endorsing that view, obviously, but at least there's a kind of moral coherence to that, okay? If they really believed that United Healthcare is essentially murdering people and profiting from...
Remember when George Floyd deserved to die for being on drugs and supposedly using fake money, but someone who is responsible for thousands, possibly millions of deaths is innocent? Absolutely, Pandas. I do not remember that. I do not remember that. But the amnesia kicked in right now as I was reading it.
Unspeakable moral evils, then you can see why some of these depraved leftists might get excited by the prospect of eliminating one of the company's executives. But any semblance of coherence goes out the window the moment you zoom out 100 feet and you look at how these same activists are reacting to the trial of Daniel Penny. Now, if these people really thought
that's a more advanced pitch. Even though it's very stupid because it's like, do I even need to say it? Do I? I mean, I'm not even. Let's hear him out. Let's hear him out.
It's good and righteous to eliminate a clear and present danger to the community, as they do with the CEO of United Healthcare, which they say is a danger to the community. Then why exactly do they have any objection to what Daniel Penny did? I mean, why did they storm the subways and protest after Jordan Neely's death, chanting "No justice, no peace"? Why have they been out?
My bro, you know the difference between a guy screaming, "I'm going to kill someone," and a guy that has already killed a lot of people? You know the difference between those two things? Well, that's the difference. He needs to fire his writers, I swear.
Outside the courthouse for every day of deliberations, pressuring the jurors to convict. Why isn't Taylor Lorenz writing articles about how it's normal to be happy that Jordan Neely is dead? Why isn't that article? It's normal to be happy when a violent, psychotic hobo is dead. Why didn't she write that article? Why aren't the Columbia professors telling us not to mourn his death? Now, even if we assume that...
Matt, because nobody already does. Nobody mourns the thousands of New Yorkers that get fucking shot, choked out, stabbed, overdosed. The thousands of New Yorkers dying of the fucking cold because they have to live in the streets every fucking year. Nobody reacts. Nobody writes. If they're blessed, maybe their parents reach out to some like local newspaper back in fucking Albuquerque and they write like a fucking obituary. That's why. That's why. And when one of these incredibly good people died of a heart attack in the middle of Manhattan, of course, we saw nothing. What murder? And the entirety of American corporate media absolutely started losing their fucking shit over it. Maybe should tell you why people are excited about one killing and not that excited about another. But hey, what the fuck do I know?
Daniel Penny actually murdered Jordan Neely, which is not true. But like, just for the sake of argument, by their logic, what would be the objection? I mean, even if you pretend that Daniel Penny put a silencer on a pistol, waited until...
Dude, migrant teen killed, another injured after being asked if they spoke English. This happened on the same day. That's why, Matt, you fucking demon. That's why. Fucking
6 a.m. when Jordan Neely started walking into a Hilton hotel and then shot him in the back. Why exactly would the leftists be upset about that? Shouldn't they celebrate that? I mean, there's no way to dispute that Jordan Neely was a menace to the community. He violently assaulted multiple people, including women who were just trying to take a ride on the subway. He was threatening an entire subway car full of innocent passengers the day he died.
Okay, Matt, let's follow the argument. No, unironically. Okay, let's fucking do it. Okay. Dangerous piece of shit hobo threatened a bunch of people that they're going to kill him. That, from your perspective, that means you get to hear the threat, you get to react to it, and you get to follow through and kill him. Okay, let's, for the sake of the argument, say fuck that guy. Fuck that guy. He was about to hurt people. A proud, heroic man stood up and saved those people from dying. Okay. In the same, okay, we agree on this. Let's imagine we agree on this. Now, what about another guy who has created an institution? Okay, not created, but he is the managing director. He is the dictator of an institution, which is actively contributing to the death of thousands of such subway passengers like the ones that were saved by our great hero. Okay? And what if you know 100% that this guy is not only going to physically hurt people in one subway cart of New York, but hundreds of subway cars. He's going to blow the shit out of them, okay, in the next year. Is it okay for the same guy, we're going to use the same guy, same looking guy, same ideology, same worldview, as the one who choked out the hobo, is it okay for him to then choke out this dude? If it's okay for somebody to kill someone that is threatening 5 to 6 people in a subway, is it okay to do the same thing to someone who is going to do far worse because he's done it before to hundreds of subway trains like the one in which that hobo found himself on that fucking morning? If you follow the same logic, the answer would be yes. I love how he uses that as an argument against the left. Oh, they're celebrating this killing and they're not celebrating the other one. Well, it's a perfect gun that I can repoint at you, quite literally and metaphorically. But hey, who gives a fuck?
Yeah, he was also a Michael Jackson impersonator, supposedly. But you know, on top of that, he was an abuser of women and others. He was, in every respect, a net negative on society, a clear threat to the safety and well-being.
But no, these guys are cucks. Okay, let's leave the whole like Marxist analysis at the fucking door. These guys are cucks. They love a richer guy's boot on their fucking neck. They love it so much that as they're sitting down, they're fucking jerking off, right? But in order for them to feel like big, strong men, after they get cucked so fucking hard, but by much richer people that literally fucking own them, they after they nutted, the post-nut clarity really fucks with their fucking head. So what they need to do is they need to find somebody smaller and weaker than them. But there's nobody smaller and weaker than them. That's the irony. There's nobody smaller and weaker than them, except people who happen to not be able to do anything against them because, they're poor, they're destitute, they're out on the street. And that's the people they want to find. That's the people they want to step on. That's the people they want to piss on. That's the people that they want to make them look at them and they fucking jerk off. That's the fucking thing. They want the homeless man to fucking suffer the same way they know deep down inside they are suffering from sucking on disgusting fucking cremated fucking cheesed up CEO dicks for the rest of their fucking life. They know that they are bent over, not in a sexy, nice way, continuously getting rammed and rammed and rammed and rammed because they sold their soul to the literal soulless. And what does a person like this do? They pass down their trauma. So they bully and they bully and they bully. They are that fucking high school kid you grew up with that was constantly bullied at home. So they went into the fucking classroom and they bullied you. Okay? Just now they have a platform and they're online and they can say it through their fucking mouths instead of using a goddamn fist. And then they're so confused on this is what is like triggering them so much. They're not so confused that somebody like stood up or did whatever. They're so confused that there are people that don't think you need to drink rich people's smegma all the time and consider that a worldview. They're like, what the fuck? What the fuck? That's insane. What the fuck? He shot him? What? I thought like my whole like life should revolve around smegma. Because if I don't believe in sucking somebody's smegma off, then who's gonna suck my smegma? It's fucking childhood lunacy, colored as an ideology. All these people are freaks, fucking freaks.
Of the working class.
Smegma suckers.
So why exactly?
Sigma, more like smegma. An ad was going to play, but it already played, so I can't even do a fucking pitch for the fucking thing. We're 10 gift subs away from another 15 gift subs, blah, blah, blah. Don't watch ads, subscribe, I love you, etc.
Is anyone on the left upset that Daniel Penny took action to eliminate the threat posed by Jordan Neely? While they're busy swooning over the assassin of the United Healthcare CEO in Manhattan. How does that work? Well, there's really only one way to make sense of it. In their world, Jordan Neely, as a black drug addict criminal, has a...
in your world, he needs to suck your smegma because you suck the bigger guy's smegma all the fucking time. So you're happy when he gets hurt. Because that means that the world in which you get to get somebody else to suck your smegma continues means that you can tap yourself on the back for sucking a little bit of a smegma from the bigger guy.
Life of greater value than a white male health insurance CEO.
How do you like Russian vodka? Live for Russian vodka, tavarish.
Nobody wants to say that out loud, but it's true. If Brian Thompson had been the CEO of the same company,
I'm drinking some cringe shit today. Chivas Regal, 12 years. I felt like whiskey. I didn't have anything else here.
Everything's the same, but he was a black woman. You would not be seeing any of the gloating and celebration. You'd probably be...
No, yes, you would. Yes, you would, even on the left. Chat, let me do a poll. We don't have to do it formally. If the United Healthcare CEO happened to be a black woman, would we give a shit that she's a black woman? Would we give a shit? I wouldn't give a shit. I would absolutely not give a shit. There we go. No, there is not a single yes. There we go. Point fucking proven.
Be seeing the opposite. In fact, that the Washington Post would be working overtime to find the assassin and dox everyone in his family. They'd rehire Taylor Lorenz and Have her track down the white.
How much is an average beer in your part of the world from a bar? It's gotten very expensive, actually. From a fancy bar, from a very fancy bar, it's €3. Okay? 3.5 euro. From a cheap bar, it's €2. It can go up to €4, but that's a very expensive place. You're at a place where, like, the average breast size is the size of my head, right? There it becomes like €4 or €5. The normal, typical bars I go to, it's like 2.5. Thank you, Gabriel. I love these smug fucks deciding for us who is worthy of mourning and who is not. That's a classic, bro. Where do you live? Like, what country? I never say it. I mean, there's a reason I wear a mask. It's not for me to LARP and be cringe. It's, I like my anonymity. But I'm in the Balkan Peninsula. I'm from one Balkan country and I live in another Balkan country. Three brother, my average pint is like £7. Jesus Christ! How are you not fucking revolting already? Oh my God! Dude, what the fuck? No, that would be one reason why Slavs like lose their shit. If somebody triples the fucking alcohol price. You like to go to Russia someday? I've been to Russia. Been to like 50 countries. The true proletarian vibe is when everyone drinks, everyone else is smegma with equal opportunity. No, it is when nobody has to drink anybody's smegma. Oh. You can easily spend $8 in bars here. $8 on a single beer, bro. No, New York fucked me up. I was in New York like, 4 fucking months ago. Dude, this is, okay, I shouldn't say this for you guys, especially because I want your subs, and I love the subs, and they put bread on my table. But I took my girlfriend out to like a romantic dinner date in New York, and we went to like a pretty mid to upper range New York place or whatever the fuck. And I don't know, let me put it this way. The food we ate would cost for both of us with the drinks would cost a maximum of €100 where I'm at. Motherfuckers charged me 400 fucking euros for a fucking dinner. How do people live in New York? How the fuck do you live in New York? And it was like mid to upper. It wasn't any like fucking steak place or some shit. It's insane. $400 for a fucking meal is absolutely fucking. That's like an average salary where I'm from. That's an average salary where I'm from. Where on earth did you go? To a fucking random fucking restaurant in Manhattan, dude. Like, it's... Croatians don't pay €3 for beer, and the only other country that has the euro is I didn't say we have the euro, bruv. I just calculated it in the euro. Croatians are fucked because of tourists. Everything's super expensive there. Crna Oh, well, it's in Manhattan. I guess because it was in Manhattan. Yeah, it's not all of New York.
White supremacist killer, along with every single social media post.
Average smegma cocktail is 12 to 16, and smegma beer is like 6 in Westoid, Amsterdam, and decent bars. €6 in Amsterdam. I thought it would be even more expensive.
He's made since he was in kindergarten. They probably solved the
Cheers, chat. Love you.
Case in about 10 minutes.
You cunts.
But as it stands, his victim happened to fit in a demographic profile of a greedy subhuman colonizer.
No. Didn't you see a Nordic Giga Aryan Italian Chad killed him? So, no. My boy Luigi is far closer to superior Aryan Nordic genes than that bozo ever was. So no, my friend, it wasn't about race. Nobody gives a fuck. Okay, nobody gives a fuck. As my chat showed, it could have been any fucking demographic or sexuality or gender category that you want to pick. My boy, he does not understand the class. He doesn't understand the class politica, and he does not understand my boy Luigi.
In other words, he was white. Didn't even matter to them that this CEO was probably liberal.
I know exactly what Balkan country you're from and what country you're in. You're from Greece, live in Bulgaria. That would be sick, dude. Imagine if I was Greek, bro. What, like I learned Serbo-Croatian? That would be sick. Oh.
His company's PAC certainly.
I'm actually living in Albania. Imagine that. That would be a plot twist. If I was Romanian living in Albania, but somehow I learned Serbo-Croatian. That would be sick.
Donated a lot of money to Kamala Harris. That wasn't important to them. So what we're left with is murderous, unrestrained.
Blat, I've seen Palestinian GoFundMe's quote is us $400 for a meal under famine conditions. What the fuck? Yeah, it's insane. It was insane. It was a very special moment. I don't do this all the time.
And anti-white race hatred under the guise of concern about health insurance costs.
Balkan nationalist nightmare. Dude, everywhere is Albania except Kosovo. No, there's a better joke. The better joke is Crimea is Russia. Alaska is Russia. Germany is Russia. Everything is Russia except Kosovo. Kosovo is Serbia. That's a classic Balkan joke. It's very, very classic. Znali smo da si Albanac, but apsolutno. Putin got to London. Aj. JT bought a Hoxha era bunker in Albania, is keeping Yugo in the bunker. That's what the basement jokes are about. Absolutely. All Balkans are confused Greeks. Hey, you want me to throw a bomb at you, bro? Oh, wait, that's against TOS. I was joking. Jesus Christ, that was a lot against TOS. I thought you all spoke Balkan. I would unironically recategorize it as the answer. It's all Ottoman Empire. So Urfav Biri, mute for 24 hours. Thank you, mods. Bye-bye. I know you did it as a joke, but we do not take any pro-Ottoman sentiment here, brother.
A problem that none of these people actually have any interest in fixing, because all they do when they're in power is make insurance premiums higher.
Mods, do the kill. Where the fuck are you?
Their primary interest is destabilizing the country by dehumanizing as many white people as possible. And if that means killing some of them, so be it. In fact, that's just a bonus. That explains the response to what happened in Butler. And
which one? The guy that called us all Ottoman, блядь. I think you deleted it. That was
the
smooth.
Response to what just happened in Midtown Manhattan in front of the Hilton Hotel. If you're a white conservative Christian and you think that these people wouldn't gloat the same exact way if you were...
There you go. That's the pitch. That's what, like, I saw their thesis immediately. I saw their fucking pitch immediately. Not to gloat myself. That's the pitch. That's the pitch. The pitch is if you support them in killing CEOs, eventually they will come and kill you because they identify you as the enemy on the same scale as they do corporate executives. Therefore, you should feel like corporate executives are more of your friend than your fellow American who might be left-wing or might consider privatized healthcare to be a fucked up blight on the country and the world. That's basically the pitch. So at least we learned something and we found something during today's stream. That's basically the pitch.
Murdered while you were on your way to work. Then
first they came for the white CEOs. We already did the part like that. If somebody has a clip, send it.
You have no idea what the left is capable of or what they really believe. Now, at this point, we don't know why exactly Brian Thompson was...
But Matt, they do, because you showed clips of leftists that were making very much not unhinged takes on what the left wants to do and how it feels like when it comes to this particular situation. So, thank you for making like a second thought level propaganda video piece to bring people to the left. Like, I don't know, JT should hit you up for joining his company, unironically.
Was executed, but we do know why exactly these ghouls are celebrating his assassin, even as they demonize men like Daniel Penny.
Is this a diss on JT? Are you fucking insane? JT is my fucking brother. I stab a fucking child for him. This is he is the pinnacle of leftist propaganda, so I'm saying that Matt Walsh is on the same level.
Pay attention to what they're saying. Spend some time reading their euphoric posts on social media. And soon enough, you'll find that even if you're not the CEO of a major health insurance company, they will have no problem coming for you next. Let's get to our 5 headlines.
There you go. He said it himself. I don't need to repeat what I said previously, but I still will because I love to do so. Just give me the toilet. Yeah, the argument, the pitch is simple. They divide and conquer. Hey, the left believes in this, so you don't get to believe in this because you hate the left. Why do you hate the left? Because we taught you to hate the left. And number 2 is if they come for the CEO, they'll come for you. They just hate the Western way of life, and the Western way of life also includes being exceptionally wealthy because you do exceptionally well inside of corporate America. So if you ever want to be wealthy and successful, if you feel like you're a temporarily disadvantaged billionaire, you should not support this assassination because one day they might come for you, or they might recreate a system in which billionaires cannot exist, and therefore you can never be a billionaire. Oh my God, that is so bad. That is the pitch, chat. That is the direction that our beautiful rightoids are going in right now, and it's to say it's we saw it coming would be a severe understatement. So, thank you very much to everybody who gave me a beautiful follow. If you haven't already, it's a little click button. It costs you nothing. Thank you even more to everybody who subscribed today. Without you, I would not be able to pay for my bread. And I love myself some good white bread with some goddamn mayonnaise on top. Thank you very much to my mods. You guys are genuine G's. Thank you, Jocula, for the gifts as always. I mean, no, Jocula, not thank you. Go fuck yourself. Jocula apparently likes when I am very bad. Hey, Jocula, you're a bad boy. That's when he gives me subs. Jocula, you bad boy. You're horrible for gifting me a sub. Fuck you, Jocula. Oh, wait, that wasn't a follow button. That's very funny. Yeah, thank you to all my subs. Thank you to all my mods. You guys are G's. Follow me on all the fucking socials. I don't know why my socials don't appear when I'm like this. That's pretty ironic, isn't it? My socials don't appear when I'm doing the face thing. No, not that thing. Jesus Christ. I want to click this thing. There we go. Okay, this thing, and then here, boom! Oh my God, the socials are there. Oh, very good, very nice. I need to add the TikTok thing. Now I'm gonna raid denims. I haven't raided denims in a fucking second, but wait, let me see if there's any smaller creators. No, not today. Okay, we're gonna raid a smaller creator on Saturday. Tomorrow is my mom's birthday. Everybody say happy birthday. Oh shit, I almost said her name. Jesus fucking Christ, Hugo, what the fuck are you doing? That was very close. My mom doesn't have an edgy leftist YouTuber meme name. But yeah, no, genuinely. Hvala, thank you guys. You're very kind. Yeah, tomorrow's my lovely mom's birthday. I love that lady so much. I'm going to drive a bit to my hometown where I'm from and where she's currently at. We're going to spend a nice day together, and then I'm going to drive back on Saturday because I got to stream with you guys, and, not gotta. I want to stream with you guys, so it's going to be nice. So see you on Saturday and see you on Sunday. I'm genuinely looking forward to it. I'm glad you liked the drip, and now I might go out and grab a couple of beers with the bros. But yeah, one thing to take away from today, so that you know what type of rhetoric to combat. It's very simple. They want to divide us by saying this is a simply left-wing issue, number one, and number two, they want to say if they come for the CEOs, they're going to come for you. Make sure to properly combat that both in online spaces and with your families and loved ones. And we can fully utilize this incident of him getting a heart attack in the middle of Manhattan to get ourselves some new communists. Okay? Sounds good. Have fun. Love you. Many cheeries. Bye-bye.